circles now for something that can't be found. Out of breath, smashed the wall, the water consumed all. You prayed away that the world would be untrue as it rose against you. Did you think it would always be for free? Now sit back, watch it burn, burn, burn for all eternity.
Ready to roll. Hello everybody, welcome to Modern Day Debate. I'm your host Ryan. We're excited to get this one going. It's a flat versus globe. We got Brian, Leake, Vince, and Daniel, and Rick here on screen. They're going to be debating the topic tonight, or I should say this morning for me. So yeah, go ahead there, Brian. You're going to start us out. You got 6 minutes on the floor, and it is all yours. Just you unmuted yourself on Zoom there.
Unmute.
There you go.
Unmute?
There you're good. There you go. So Brian is ready to start us out. So you got 6 minutes on the floor there, Brian. And from what I know, you're going to be doing a screen share. So if you want to get that up and running, we'll.
Yep. I went a little bit over. My teammate was gracious enough to give me a minute of his. So hopefully, it ends the debate before it even starts. We'll see.
A1. All right, I'll start up your timer here once you get your proper screen up and ready to go.
All right. Am I sharing?
You sure are sharing, and I'll just remind our audience, once again, hit that like and subscribe button, boost us up in the algorithm, and Brian's going to get us started. Thanks, Brian. The video's on mute, Brian, if you want us to hear that playback.
All right, let me hold on. Let me unmute.
Yeah, just on the bottom left of your video there, if you want us to be able to hear it.
Bottom left. Okay, right there. Got it. Thank you, man.
No worries.
Sorry about that.
All right, we'll start over. No worries. And we're still not getting audio playback, not through our Zoom chat.
Is that right?
Not the audio playback. So let's end the screen share.
Maybe I have to Zoom?
So try, I'm going to stop the screen share
maybe I have
quick. So when you go to share, hit the little green icon to do the share, and it'll say at the top, share audio as well, and then just flick that over. Sorry, I should have covered this, everybody, before we started. You know how things can be. But let's see here. Don't mind me, everybody. Somebody in the live chat's going to make notice of this. I was at a fantasy ball last night. Can't help it. Can't stop it. I can't stop rocking. We're just going to get Brian's screen share back up with his audio.
All right, we should be good now. Sorry about that, man.
No worries. Things happen. And once again, just gives us a chance to remind our audience how YouTube works. You have to subscribe and like, especially while it's live, for us to boost it on up. So whenever you're ready, Brian, we'll get that screen share up. Yes, no? We're having trouble getting it up tonight. It happens to the best of us. And we never claim to be anything but mediocre. No, I'm kidding.
Tell me when you're ready.
We're ready whenever you are, Brian. As soon as just hit the screen share and we'll get rolling.
Oh, I got to hit screen share? Hold on. I did that. I'll redo it.
Yeah, you got to share with the audio if you want our audience to hear.
Yeah, I thought I did. Sorry.
No
Call
worries.
me. Okay. So share with audio, share,
Perfect. Should do it.
and
There we go. All right. Oh, we don't need to transition their screen there. All right, whenever you're ready.
For anybody new, you're probably wondering, why don't they just show a picture from space and put this to bed? Well, in all these debates, here's why they never, ever show a picture of the Earth from space. That would put this debate to bed, though, right? It's because all they have is cartoons. They tell us the Himawari or the Goes, and you find out they're giving us strip data. Well, they're 22,000 miles up. Why are we getting strip data? So let's go to their website and see what we get. It says the underlying land image is from the NASA Blue Marble Next Generation dataset. And it says when using this base map, please credit the Earth Observatory team. So you find out it's just a bunch of data added onto a base map. And then you look up, who's the Earth Observatory team? And you find out it's a whole collection of people, teams of people, including Robert Simmons. So this, folks, is what started most of us on our journey in the first place. But don't take it from me. Let's hear it from the horse's mouth.
In 2002, Blue Marble 2.0, NASA's Rob Simmons made this. Simmons' job is...
It's primarily taking data and making pictures out of it.
That's what this is, a composite of datasets from several different instruments translated into a picture.
Up until that point, there was no realistic color map of the globe anywhere. There's a small problem with it because there's a very slight gap in between each orbit.
So some of those are painted on. Then
there was another layer to sort of simulate the atmosphere.
And then there's this little bright spot.
It's called the specular highlight. So it's the reflection of sunlight off of water.
Those are the pieces, but you can't just slap them all together.
It just didn't look realistic. It looks kind of flat, or the clouds are sort of too see-through. So I just hit Command Z a lot.
There's artistry to creating the world.
What I imagine it to be. Unfortunately, I'm not an astronaut. I've never been to space. It is photoshopped, but it's has to be.
I had to cut that short, but you get the picture. And here's the supercomputer that puts all the data together. So the picture you think is a live picture every 15 minutes, here's what it is in reality, folks. This is a globe debugger on steroids done by Dr. John D. at Rampion Offshore Wind Turbines. He's at an observer height of 3.5 feet, putting the supposed horizon at 2.29 miles. He shows his location in his videos, so check him out on YouTube. But the first wind turbine is I-01 at 13.83 kilometers, and the farthest turbine is O-07 at 18.58 kilometers. The turbines by themselves debunk the globe model, but the killer is the land behind the turbines. Now, since Dr. John D showed his location, and since the wind farms are so easy to find on Google Earth, we can plot out our position, and the best case scenario for a globe is Le Havre at 149 kilometers at 110 meters elevation. It could very well be Saint-Aubin at 231 kilometers at an elevation of 330 meters. We'll give the globe the benefit and go with Le Havre, and the highest point on Le Havre should be hidden by just a couple hundred feet less than a mile. And there's no other land it could be to help the globe. So we could stack an Eiffel Tower and an Empire State Building on Le Havre and still have half a mile hidden. So let that sink in. Should be pretty easy proving the globe using the horizon at extreme altitudes. This is the Felix Baumgartner jump, and this is the location. And first I'm going to show you that the capsule is stable. You see very minimal movement there when he leans to the front. There it is hanging from the crane, and when it lets go you'll see again minimal movement. So if we live on a globe, the horizon will drop as we rise in altitude. So here's Felix entering the capsule, and what we're going to do is we're going to mark the horizon from this same camera at ground level. So we're going to take a closer look. We get a glimpse of the horizon there. We mark it with a line, and we get a couple more glimpses of the horizon, looking carefully. The globe Earth predicts between 6.5 and 7 degree drop of the horizon. What we'll do is we'll mark the line at ground level again and just leave it on the screen. And let's see how much it drops when he opens the door. So if we live on a globe, the horizon should be about right here. So that bottom line represents an approximate globe Earth horizon. Let's find out if reality matches globe Earth predictions. So the horizon rises to an unaided, unzoomed eye level on a good clear day. So for the naysayers, I'll line the two horizons up and you see the same handle, same camera, They're damn near identical. So here's a random globe debunking observation. But the point in this is to show that the horizon is just a point to infinity. It's just a convergence point. It's not Earth curve. On screen's the horizon. We've spoiled globers. They think we have P1000s for eyeballs. But see, there's a horizon at 200 feet with half a millimeter of curve. You think that's Earth curve? There's a horizon at 150 feet. Or here's one at 50 feet. And Ruhif asked us what our prediction was on a flat Earth. There is no way to accurately predict it, Ruhif. Here's a time lapse. I've marked the 3 spots at the beginning of this time lapse, and you see that it's all over the place. So it would be dishonest of me to capture one moment in time and act like I'm making predictions to match a model. But if you look at what's going on here, I marked the horizon in the beginning, and by the end of it, the top of the mountain is where the horizon started off. So that's reality, folks. There's reality right there on screen. On a good, clear day with no miraging, there is no obstruction. Things just fade off into the atmosphere, or they shrink too small to see. So when you're on your way to do the observations, and it's a good, nice, crystal clear atmosphere, you're just praying for no inferior mirage because you know you're going to see forever. And this is opposite to the globe. They say on a crystal clear day where you see further, that's the day with refraction going on. So it's just backwards to reality. Now here's a paper published in the American Journal of Physics saying that at a couple miles altitude, you cannot gauge the distance of the horizon with any kind of accuracy, even on extraordinary clear days. But Wolfie and McToon will show you days like this and act like they're proving something.
1 minute.
Look how murky it is. But look, here's downtown Los Angeles. There's nothing behind it, right? Until you pull out an infrared, and then it turns out there's an entire mountain behind it.
I've got the theodolite set to basically straight out eye level. I'm about 4 feet above the water, I think. And out there is the New Dungeness Lighthouse, and it's entirely above eye level. And it hardly even looks distorted. All that land, everything appears above eye level. So I've got this theodolite set up straight and level, and that ship is above eye level. See, I've got the theodolite set to straight and level well within 3 arc seconds. Not only is the horizon above eye level, the ship is actually appearing above eye level. I have my theodolite set up here, and I'm measuring the angle to the surface of the water. So I can put my crosshairs right at the top of the water. And look at that, it's 3 to 4 arc minutes above eye level.
Shout out to Jesse Gordon. These are his theodolite observations, so they're not guesses. But this shows that what is guesses is the globe Earth predictions. For one, it shows that the horizon and objects in the distance move around. Number two, with the colder, denser air above, the light should refract up, according to the globe, making things appear lower, but everything is appearing above eye level. That's opposite to the globe prediction. And last but not least, the bottom image, the day everything's refracted up, including the horizon itself, is where we see blockage. So they say that we see objects beyond Earth curve due to refraction because everything's being lifted up, but that's where we're getting the obstruction, where the horizon itself is above eye level. And it's the same thing with the boat here. If this wasn't through a theodolite, they'd say that Earth curve's blocking the bottom of the ship, but we know the horizon is above eye level. So why is the bottom of the ship apparently missing? This doesn't match globe Earth predictions.
Just to jump in right quick, Brian, before the video. Oh, it is over. I was going to say, you are quite over time. I did want to let you wrap it up there, especially where we had a technical difficulty. But you'd still have 4 minutes on the floor. If you want to take your full 6 minutes, though, there, Vince, I'll have to give it to the other side, so it's up to you. I'm going to set the timer.
No.
And
Yeah.
no worries. Well, thank you so much, Brian, for your introductory statement. We do appreciate it. Welcome, everybody, to Modern Day Debate. Once again, we are a neutral debate platform hosting debates on science, politics, religion. We hope you feel welcome. We do super chats at the end. So if you see somebody on screen and you think, man, I want to grill that guy right now, get into a super chat and I'll grill them for you at the end. All right. So Vince Master Composer is here and going to get 6 minutes on the floor. Up to 6 minutes is up to you. And like I said, that will extend your opponent's time. But that's all the fun of Modern Day Debate. So Vincent, whenever you're ready, we'll start the timer.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan. I'll keep it short. I just want to say it's nice to be back. I was here 4 years ago, 5 years ago. debating with T-Jump and Godless Girl, and I don't know where she is at. But anyways, nice to be back. And now I'm talking about flat Earth. And to me, it's really simple. I think the governments of the world, they're pushing towards electronic enslavement of the whole human race. And they need the whole human race to agree on their own enslavement. And they're going to do that under the guise of climate, you know what? Climate sham. Climate sham. So they're gonna make us believe we're living on a ball, and this ball is endangered, and we need to do some radical stuff to stop it. And we need to go from, you know, fossil fuels and this and that to electronic. Everything's going to be electronic, because when everything is electronic, it can be controlled. And once that system is established, we're all enslaved. So I think they're doing that. And for that, they need you to believe in a globe, Earth, as opposed to a flat plane with even more land resources, God knows what else. But everybody knows, even Globers knows, that the government lies. And NASA is created by the government. So need I say more? Really, I should not. But I think Globies, they are under a mass hypnosis. They are under this spell. They believe in things that their senses cannot really confirm back to them. So they believe in these scientist priests with their wizard words. They like to be fancy with their wizard words and all that shit. But yeah, I don't believe, my intuition tells me we're living on a flat plane, and I also believe this is a virtual reality simulation, and those are built upon planes. You know, there's a reason I think it's called Planet with a T. It's a plane. I believe it's a plane. I also want to say this to everybody that says, this would mean that all of the countries of the world are in on it. Well, need I say anything more than Sniffles 19 from 2020? That to me showed me that pretty much the whole world, you know, applied the same kind of system, laws, or whatever you want to call it, towards Sniffles 19. So that to me proved that, yeah, all of the countries in the world can be in cahoots when it comes to big things. And I think the globe is one of them. Another thing that is pretty odd is that, you know, in YouTube, when you talk about flat Earth, or when you talk about Sniffles 19, or the election of 2020 being, you know what, I don't even know if I can say it. So, but once you talk about those subjects, you get this little banner on which says this is not true, blah, 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 blah. And me, being the skeptical I am, I know the Sniffles 19 was a lot of BS. I know the election of 2020 was, you know what. And if they're going to apply that banner on flat Earth, then I'm going to just connect the dots and say, flat Earth probably right. Flat Earth is probably right as well. So I think that's very, very, very weird. Also, how much is it left? 2 minutes.
Yeah, you still have 2 minutes.
Yeah. I just want to say, I also think it's very weird that it seems like the Globies, they are the ones that are more desperate to try to disprove flat Earth than vice versa. Flat Earthers can have questions and they want to discuss it with Globers, but I feel it's very weird that the scientists do not create a debate with the top flat Earthers to crush this argument once and for all. You know, on a national level, on TV, internet, wherever, squash this, but they don't dare. And why would you not dare if you sit on the truth? I just think that's weird. But yeah, we can leave it there.
No worries. All right. Well, thank you to both of our speakers, Brian and Vincent, for doing the intro for the flat side. We're going to kick it over to the globe side. Let me just reset my timer, which I shouldn't have done halfway through. I just...
You won't need it from me.
No worries. So I will, in the interest of fairness, I'll give you up to 7 minutes each. So, yeah, Rick is going to go first. So thank you so much for coming on out, Rick. I see you in the live chat all the time. It's time to debate, right? So we're glad you're here. And yeah, I'm going to set 7 minutes on the floor, and you just let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right, whenever you are.
8 or 9 years ago, I ran across several flat Earth videos. I tried to talk to the people in the comments, but within about 30 minutes, I understood the flat Earth wasn't interested in facts. So I moved on. About a year or so later, I ran across flat Earth again. I tried to get on a few debates. I started making jokes in the side chats and eventually made a channel. I ran a channel for about 8 months, maybe a year. I did a little arguing, but I mostly let others on the channel do the arguments. I knew it was nonsense. I did 8-hour streams back when we had Hangouts. Eventually, I tired of hearing the same thing over and over. Then an amazing thing happened. Flat Earth was proven wrong on a YouTube channel. I will explain how later. Regardless, it was so obvious, I no longer care to entertain the debate. Tonight, I will present evidence. I know it won't be accepted. What I will do is end this debate for those asking to see the Earth's curvature. Your only possible reply will be 1, you don't believe it, or 2, it's fake. This will be the only comebacks. Not one single time will my evidence be proven wrong. At this point, I have heard all the arguments from Flat Earth. I no longer respond to insane arguments by responding with facts, evidence. Too many times these answers have been given to these flat earthers already. I see no point in arguing facts that have been explained thousands of times. What I will do is not argue perspective, not argue planes tipping, not argue how far you can see. I hope that my partner does this because I have no interest in doing something over and over and expecting a different result. That's the definition of insanity. I want to share my screen right now. If I can get it to work this time. Oh, that won't work again.
No worries. Hopefully we can get it up this time, everybody. Smash that like button if you haven't, guys. We appreciate it.
Share a window. That one. Share.
All right, you're up and running.
Is it working?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. This is the Antarctic Cup race. It is a race around Antarctica. It's a motorless yachts, and I believe the record time is around 100 days. Each boat must go through gates below the tip of Australia, South America, and Africa. I only post this to gauge the willingness to accept information that requires logic and the honesty in answering how this race is possible on a flat Earth. Lastly, I am well aware there is no possible way to sway a flat earther using evidence. Normally, a poll is presented on here, usually with the choices of globe, flat, or loaf of bread. Since I know flat earthers will never change from flat to globe, and my only goal today is to have the final poll numbers where a loaf of bread beats the flat Earth, thus showing how insane a flat Earth belief is. Oh, one last thing. I'm keeping a little chart, and I've done it on the flat earthers entries, which one globe, which one flat, and which one loaf of bread. And so far, globe has 1, flat has 0, and bread has 2.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Rick, and thanks for paying attention to the polls I put up. That was actually a joke that a friend of mine had made when I told him I was hosting a flat versus globe debate. And he's like, "Why are you even debating this? The Earth is a loaf of bread." And I was like, "I'm keeping that." All right. So we're gonna hand the floor over. Thank you so much, Rick, for your introductory statement. We'll reset the clock. You got up to 7 minutes. Thanks for coming on out, Danny, and the floor is all yours.
Right, okay. I'm going to share my screen.
We're ready when you are.
Yeah. Tell me if you can see it.
Not yet. There it is. All right, that's your presentation. So, yeah, ready when you are.
Okay. My presentation is just going to be simple. I mean, what was his name? FE Test went on about curvature a lot. Why? But then I'm sure I'll have something for him for that. He just goes on about curvature all the time. And Vince, wow, conspiracy nut job. But you know, I've seen him in a few debates. He's all right, but he's too clued up with the conspiracies. Okay, so okay, so as we're aware, we're here to talk about whether the Earth is flat or a globe, and of course, it's a globe. We have evidence showing that we live on a globe, following the scientific method. Observe, make observations. Can I move this out of the way? Oh, I can move it. That's good. Ask questions, formulate questions based on your observations. Form a hypothesis. Propose a possible answer to your question based on your observations, existing theories, and other information. Make a prediction. Use your hypotheses to make a prediction. Test your hypotheses. Conduct an experiment and make more observations to test your hypothesis. Analyze your results. Use scientific procedures to analyze your data and determine the results of your experiment. You draw a conclusion. Decide whether your evidence supports or rejects your hypothesis. And share your findings with others. This is what we live on. This is the 1972 blue marble. And I know they're going to get all shitty about it, but it's reality and they need to go over it. And we all know, because the evidence shows us it's a globe every time. There's no such thing as a scientific proof. I just want to make that clear. Gas pressure without a container. Now, this is something that the fluffs always go on about. So here, I'm going to show you a video. It's sped up a bit, but it's a gas pressure without a container. And even in denial is something that they can't get out of. This is a great example to their claim that gas goes in all direction. And it doesn't. There's no container. They say that a container is a closed system. That is not a closed system. Obstruction behind the curve, my favorite. Now, FE Test is going to love this one. Right, this picture is quite self-explanatory. We have three boats. The Panther at the front, you can see, is not behind the curve. The Yellowstone is slightly obstructed behind the curve. And the Spirit, well, should I say any more? Unless they're drowning. There is nothing to do with perspective. And no, you can't bring a boat back into full view once you have zoomed it back in. Absolutely preposterous. Okay, this is an observation from Res Rhetoric, a YouTuber. He was in Florida, Tampa Bay. This shot was 24 miles away and a lot of obstruction behind the horizon. Sorry, this is the blink test. Now, if this isn't buildings behind the horizon, then these poor fuckers are drowning, like I said before. This man knows. Day and night. This doesn't work, as the sun would never set, and they would use their favorite word, perspective, but the sun clearly sets over the horizon. In order for this to be true, the sun would have to actually be a spotlight. However, the sun is sphered, so the light would cover their whole pancake world. Also, tell me why people in Brazil, South Africa, and Saudi Arabia, if you don't know where they are on the map, are looking at the moon and see completely different sides when we all know the moon is tidally locked. Another example of how day and night on a frisbee wouldn't work. How can the light spread out, but just stop right here? But can't spread out there. Must be magic. This works perfectly on our model. As you can see here, it's quite self-explanatory. I don't need to say no more. There's always a part of the Earth in day, and there's always a part of the Earth in night. That's right. Seasons. I'm very confused about seasons. I don't get where I really don't get this. But seasons only work on the flat Earth. I don't think so. They claim the sun moves from the tropics and the equator, yet the flat earther has no explanation of how the sun is moving around the dinner plate. And I want an answer for that tonight. Again, explains perfectly. This is how it is in reality. Star rotations, a big killer for flat Earth. So the star rotations in the northern hemisphere rotate anti-clockwise. The stars in the southern hemisphere rotate clockwise. Okay, so please tell me why why people in Chile, South Africa, and Australia are looking at completely different directions but can see the same stars. When on a globe, they all face the Southern Cross. And again, this is what we observe. Star charts.
20 seconds.
Okay, I'm nearly there. Okay, Antarctica is a big blow for them. It's actually a touchy subject for the Flirts, knowing that the pastor, Will Duffy, has agreed to cover costs for 2 Flirts and a Globie, although others are attending the 24-hour sun. We all know the 24-hour sun in Antarctica is impossible, also admitted by Papa Flirts like Oakley and Durf.
That is time.
Okay. Thank you.
No worries. Hopefully you got to the end, or as close to the end as we're going to get for the start here. Sorry.
Yeah, I had that one and then another one. I was done. Yeah.
It's all good. We can certainly get into it in our back and forth. So
Absolutely.
Thank you to all of our speakers for doing their introductory statements. We're going to get right into that open discussion. I want to remind everybody in our live chat that we are going to ask your questions. So once again, if you want to grill one of your speakers, you can put in a super chat and I will ask it at the end. And we'll get some of your input as well. I do also want to remind our audience, if you're listening on Podcast Forum, that yes, all of these debates are uploaded to our podcast within 24 hours. However, if you are listening on podcast right now, you need to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch these debates live and be able to ask these questions to the wonderful people on screen. So with that out of the way, I'm going to hand it back to Team Flat to respond to some of what they just heard. And like I say, feel free to jump in globe side once we start unpacking. So whenever you're ready.
That was a bunch of surface level. Like I'm going back to FE 101. If that's as far as you look, then yeah, sure. Just hold on to your beliefs. You know, that's ridiculous. My partner had some good arguments, but if I could share my screen real quick, I'll put 3/4 of their arguments to bed with just one little thing.
All right.
That's it.
Screen share when you're ready.
I'm gonna share without sound because I just want to show something real quick.
Yeah, no worries. Oh, not quite popping up right yet. I'm going to do more housekeeping. No,
Loading, yeah.
No, it's all good. It takes some time.
Can you see it now?
Yeah, we're ready to roll. So, awesome. All right, go ahead there, Brian.
Okay. If you put the center of the FE map, the AE azimuthal equidistant map, anywhere, you get two poles. The only place you don't get 2 poles on the FE, on the AE, I keep saying FE, on the AE map is when you put it right directly on a pole. Anywhere else you line it up, you get 2 rotations. So can you see my pointer?
How?
If you, the Vendy globe ray starts here, goes down here, comes on down, comes up to Switzerland, goes on around, comes up, and then back up, boom. You know, this maybe could use some touching up and whatnot. I'm not saying this is perfect, but all the directions are right. And the only place you go to debunk this would be like way out in here, which just happens to be the off limits. It happens to be where no ships go, none of the commercial ships, they all go the long way around this way, even when they have to cut through the canals. And but this shows 2 star rotations.
All right, you can leave your screen share up, but I think Danny wanted to jump in. And speaking of polls, I got the poll in the chat, so yeah, go ahead there, Danny, if you want to make some response, and we'll keep it going.
fuck are you talking about? What you, what's it? What am I seeing here? I don't know what the hell I'm seeing here. You're talking about star rotations.
Yeah, and the Vendy Globe
It's-
and seasons. And let me ask you a question real quick. You showed on screen. In fact, I'd like to let you share your screen back if you could show the them star trails. I'd like to ask you how is it
absolutely.
yeah, how is it possible? And this is one thing I noticed. And at first, yeah, it looks like perfect globe proof. But when I'm in the northern hemisphere and I set my camera to the southwest, and I see the stars starting to straighten out at the equator, right?
Go
and
ahead
then
and
start to
try
go
to share
the
again.
other way. How can that happen simultaneously? If I'm the one rotating and I see stars spinning over my head, and then at the equator they're starting to straighten out, and then south the equator they're starting to curve the other way. That's measurable. We can use sticks and shadows and measure the sun doing that at different times of the season. But the stars, we know that they follow the sun on their daily path. So how are they going simultaneous directions at one point in time? That works perfect on the map I just showed. I mean, you got different star rotations, so you're gonna have different directions.
Yes, we do.
Tell me how that could possibly work on a globe.
What different star rotations?
No, different directions.
Different directions.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Didn't think of that one,
on the
did you?
northern hemisphere, it goes anti-clockwise because we're on a ball, and then the southern hemisphere go clockwise.
Yeah.
If you turn a ball,
sorry.
if you had like a snooker ball, you turned it, you look at this way, right, and then you look at that way. They're going different directions. That's how you get the star trails.
Yeah, but I can measure.
That's how you're getting.
Like if I put a stick in the ground, let's just go back to the basics, sticks and shadows. If I put a stick in the ground and the sun is in the northern hemisphere, okay, I'm going to see a smiley face, okay? And then during equinox, I'm going to see like a straight face on the stick. And then during the southern hemisphere's solstice, I'm going to see a frown. How can that happen simultaneously? The stars are taking the same path as the sun on a daily basis. How can they be going measurable different directions if I'm the one rotating and the stars are stationary? They can't be going different directions simultaneously. You haven't thought that through, man.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You're
It's so
on
easy.
screen, dude.
It's
on
so, look,
screen.
I'm showing you the screen now. I'm showing you on the screen now. I'm sharing.
So you got stars going different directions, right? You got stars spreading out from each other.
All right, just for our audience, right quick, Brian.
Yeah, but
let's
what
let
do you
Danny
mean?
explain for our audience.
Right, what do you mean? So, as you see in the picture there, you can see that the stars are going this way, and you can see stars going this way, and you can see the stars going straight. Is that what you're going on about?
If I'm the one rotating, how can they be simultaneously going in different directions? If the stars are just sitting there, I don't know what you're missing with this. The stars are spreading out. I can measure it with anything, with a theodolite. I could measure it with a sextant. Any of that. They are measurably separating at the equator, from the north and the south. How can they be doing that if I'm the one rotating? There's got to be two actual separate rotations for that to work in reality. It can't work on a globe if I'm the one rotating.
Right. Okay. Right. Are you okay? Are you saying that if you was to look the opposite way, they would go the opposite way?
I'm saying they can't spread out away from each other if they're just sitting there and I'm the one rotating. There's nothing you could do. You could put me on a ball. You could put me on a cylinder. You can put me on anything you want. If they are measurably spreading out away from each other, then they are the ones rotating, not us.
All right. Do you want to jump in here, Rick, and give some insight on what you're thinking there?
Sure. This is.
I'm sorry, but it works on the globe. That picture here. I'm sorry to interrupt. It works on the globe. I don't know what the hell he's going on about.
Let's try to get.
I don't know.
What we deal with.
Try to get the other two
This is what we
speakers.
deal with. We show them a proof, and we show them that their proof backfires on them, and their brains just shut down. No explanation at all. This is what we deal with.
All right, we're just back to our main screen. So
take the floor, mate.
Go ahead there, Rick, when you're ready.
Okay, sure. This is just often multiple time to explain thing. What didn't happen was that they mentioned the only piece of evidence I put up, which was the Let me see if I can get it up here.
That's going to be our bad code word for tonight. My goodness. Our audience is going to say, how many times did they say, let's see if I can get it up to on this stream? My goodness, we're so bad. All right, go ahead there, Rick, when you're ready.
I'll share my screen for that.
When you get up in your upper 90s, that is common. Anyway, let me explain this race a little bit, because you keep looking up and you keep explaining the star trails. But look at this race that I put up. It's the only piece of evidence I presented so far. There's a race around Antarctica. It's yachts. It's motorless yachts. It takes, I think, around 100 days is the record.
Do you know what it's called?
Yes, Antarctic Cup Race. Hold on.
Okay.
You actually learned something. It crosses below Australia, South America, and Africa. And it goes all the way around Antarctica, all the way around. Now, wait, hold on. I'm almost there.
Sorry.
I won't last long. I will not be going. Dang, I said I won't last long. You're killing me, Ryan.
What are you doing there?
Anyway,
go ahead.
if you go clockwise, then Antarctica will always be to the right of the yacht. But if you were on a flat Earth, it would always be on the left. Do you understand why this race is impossible? Now, either say it's fake, it doesn't happen, but you can't argue with that. If you're going around, it's just right or left. You don't have to look up in the sky. Look on the ground. That's it.
If you actually did a little research on this, if you seen what I shared right off the bat, I showed the circle around Antarctica. And if you did a little research, you'd understand that they only dip barely below 60 degrees in one spot. And that's right at South America. Okay. But if you did even a little more research, you'd hear that the people, one of the top contenders who raced that, said that they always correct it's just a rule of thumb. They correct to the left. On a globe, they would be correcting to the right. He said that's a rule of thumb for all of the yacht racers. It's correct to the left. Now, how's that work on a globe? You'd have to correct to the right. Your rule of thumb would be correct to the right. But no, on a flat Earth, it would be opposite. And it just so happens that's their rule of thumb. This is known with all the racers. It's correct to the left. It was on one of their famous talk shows in Brazil. And so you want to explain that? And if this is your only proof, I showed this on my first share screen, with just a simple little layout of the AE map centered over the equator. It shows 2 rotations. So that pretty much put all y'all's arguments in a bag, man, as far as I'm concerned.
No, it didn't do anything. What correcting is something else, but I'm not going to explain it. I need you to explain how it's always the opposite side of the boat. Whether you're touching, you don't have to touch the rim of Antarctica. It's always on the opposite side it would be if the Earth was flat. This is literally the end of it, unless you can prove that it's not on the side that they're going around.
Hey, Rick, why is it Antarctica a perfect circle? Why is it looking like a brain?
Yeah.
What?
It's the way it is.
Yeah. Why wouldn't it equally freeze like a circle? You see the shape of Antarctica. What? The shape of Antarctica look like a sperm.
Yeah, it doesn't matter about the shape, does it? It is what it is. It's Antarctica.
It looks weird. Okay.
Does that being weird looking to you change the side? Hold on. I didn't finish even a single sentence.
Hold on now.
You asked me a question and I'm answering it by saying the shape of it has no bearing on whether it's on the right side or the left side. That's what you have to counter. All this side stuff doesn't change the fact. On a globe, it's on one side. On a flat Earth, it's on the other side. And when the actual race...
No, I want an answer. This shit should be frozen equally like a circle. That's not the case.
Who cares?
Yeah, I care.
It's
irrelevant.
It's
very relevant. Why would it turn out this shape? Because that would mean...
Why does Australia look like it does?
Hold on. Let's stay on Antarctic. Let's stay on Antarctic. it should be getting an equal amount of heat or whatever to make a perfect circle there. You don't have an answer for this, do you? You don't have an answer.
Doesn't need to be a perfect circle.
Oh, now it doesn't. You see, this is the problem with you globies.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's a.
You always have a fantastical bullshit excuse for everything. Like the Earth is spinning super fast, but we don't feel it, right? It's curvy, but we're too small to see it, right? Like it's a bunch of fantastical bullshit excuses all the time.
The Earth is really, 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 really big. You're not going to see curvature, are you?
A great scale
it's
indicator.
Massive.
Hey, Ryan,
It's
can
a
I share my
massive
screen while they're going back and forth?
Yeah, sure thing. We're going to be doing a lot of screen sharing from the sounds of things. But carry on there, Dan.
They just don't get it. It's a big planet.
Yeah, right. Or it's way smaller than you think. How do you know?
Oh, we live on a tennis ball. All right, we're all on a tennis ball.
How do you know? Daddy government maybe lied to you, Danny.
Did either one of them answer how it can flip from being on the opposite side?
How about right here?
Daddy government, you love it, right?
Hey, Rick wants his question answered.
Daddy government.
Was there an answer on why it would be the opposite side on a flat Earth and a globe Earth?
Can you see that on screen?
Try it.
Hold on a second there, Brian.
What's moving your sun? What is moving your sun to go round?
God knows. God knows. Exactly. God knows.
You don't know.
What's moving? Wait. What's moving your sun?
What do you mean? Our sun's not moving.
The Big Bang, right?
Oh,
The Big Bang. The Big Bang is running your sun,
right?
right?
Our sun.
I'm gonna
Every
have
365 days, we orbit our sun. That's how we get our seasons because of the tilt of the Earth at 23.5 degrees.
Yeah. How about on a flat Earth? Sun's closer, it's hotter. Sun further away, it's colder.
Exactly.
That's simple. We don't need all this crazy explanation.
Right on, Brian.
Tilt.
Agree.
Closer, hotter, colder, further away. Simple.
Yeah, but what is moving your sun?
Exactly that.
What's
making your sun hot? What's making your sun hot?
What's making your sun hot?
We're in the vacuum of space. You know what I mean? We're going around our sun.
The vacuum of space makes it hot.
Oh my God! A vacuum of space. How about Venus?
What, did you say makes it hot?
Warm, whatever you want to say.
Yeah, when the sun's closer, it gets hotter. Go ahead, Ben.
No.
Can you see that on screen though? Just out of curiosity.
Do you think?
Yes, we can.
Do you think the sun? Do you think the sun is fire?
No.
What do you think the sun
What is it?
I mean, why are you pinning it? Why are y'all bringing it to La La Land? We don't. Nobody.
They love the La La Land, Brian. They love it.
Nuclear reactor is with nuclear fusion.
You're talking about.
They love
They're
fantasies.
And it's like I look up the pressure, and Venus supposedly has a pressure of 1,350 psi. That's the equivalent of over half a mile in the ocean. That's supposed to be in the atmosphere. It supposedly goes up the same amount as Earth's, about 60 miles. So dude, that's almost a nuclear reactor's pressure. You just believe anything they tell you, man. You don't question any information.
They don't. They're either mentally lazy or mentally blind or both.
It's the thing. Like Rick's right. Everything that we throw at you, you're not going to believe anyway. I tell you that it's the sun is a nuclear fusion, and it's center of our thingy, and you're not. Oh yeah, no, that's not right because the sun's going over us.
Okay, Danny, can I ask you?
Right, we orbit the sun because we have seasons. That's the way we can prove we are orbiting the sun.
Danny, can I ask you?
Because of the tilt.
Danny, can I ask you?
Go on.
Would you say if there was more land, would the daddy government tell you?
Why would they keep it a secret?
Oh, there's a bunch of reasons, and I can't say I know all of them exactly, but there's a bunch of reasons. But even if I couldn't tell you, that still doesn't prove that they don't do it. Just because I can't tell you why.
Yeah, they have no reason to lie to us.
Oh, okay, but let's play with it though, Danny.
The screen share.
If they had more land, more resources, etc., would daddy government tell you?
Why wouldn't they? Yes, they would.
Why would they? Do they not keep secrets from us all?
But what's out there? What's out there?
Exactly.
That's so important that they keep it a secret? What? Yeah,
It might
they
be.
tell me then. What is it? If you
It
know
might
there's
be
land out there, tell me.
It might be different civilizations. It might be resources, land, aliens, outer space might be just over there that you are not allowed to go.
Resources. So you think oil and
A bunch of
diamond.
shit. A bunch,
Yeah.
all of it. If that was true, you don't think they would hide it from you? Why the fuck would they tell you the truth? Who are you? You're a peasant to them, and so am I. You know it in your heart. Don't try to.
Oh God!
Don't try. You know it in your
No,
heart. I'm here to unlock it in you.
The Blue Marble 1972, yeah, that was taken by a Hasselblad camera, yeah. That was a deposit that had to be developed in a dark room, right? And the picture and the camera, I think it's in the museum, Florida, I think it might be.
Are you?
But we still have that, and we
Are you talking about from the
that is
moon?
the picture.
From the moon.
No, on the way to the moon.
Yeah,
that picture
nobody with an IQ of 40 believes in the moon landing.
All right. Before we get a second tag, let's try to wheel ourselves back in. So, yeah, if Ryan, I know you had your screen
I got
up
interrupted. I was about to say something.
Okay,
but
sorry,
it doesn't matter.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
so, yeah.
no. It wasn't you. It was Vince.
Okay, no worries. Well, Brian,
was it my hat?
Brian had his screen up there. He did want to present some stuff there.
My brain, you don't see it. It's invisible.
No.
Wheel us in, Brian. What's on you now?
Well, let us know when it's there, yeah?
I'll put it back up. So, like I said, this Antarctica is probably a little too close to Africa and everything, but I showed the AE with the longitude, latitudes on there, and like I said, all the directions work and everything. It needs some adjusting, but I think my partner's doing a good job of just shutting it down. But really, they haven't answered any questions. They're just asking us, "What is the sun? What is the sun? What about
how are you to answer
Antarctica
questions
ray?"
when you're bringing stuff up like this? I don't even know what that is.
It's
Is that a star? Is that?
It's just two rotations, man.
That's two rotations.
Doesn't that match the picture you just showed? The picture of the stars you showed that were separating? You never answered that question, did you?
What?
The stars you showed, doesn't that match that? How they're separating from each other and going straight in the middle? Doesn't that answer that?
Yeah, but you're showing there two separate bunch of stars that have
That's what you showed on
each other,
screen.
and then they're doing this. We
That's what
only
you
have
showed on
one
screen,
set of
man.
stars around the planet. And in the northern hemisphere is counterclockwise, southern hemisphere is clockwise.
Like
That's how
on
the star
screen,
rotations happen.
Like we're seeing on screen, clockwise, counterclockwise.
Right, okay, so
There's something else.
the star, yeah, but the stars are above us on your world. The stars are above us. So how are you meant to see the other stars go the opposite? The same set of stars go the opposite way if you aren't on the other side of the stars. This is what Vincent gets it, did it? He made this thing where he did a circle like this. Did a circle like this on the door, and if you went on the other side, it will go round the other way. But when are you at any point on the other side of the stars to see the different rotation?
I'm literally showing you on screen. Hold on, I'll pull up something else where they're going at the same time. If you don't get it, seeing them one at a time, I'll show them both
Sorry,
at the same
Ryan,
time.
I've ranted on a bit.
Yeah.
We've gone over this. Can I
even hear me?
bring something else up? They haven't even answered right and left thing on the Antarctic race. And my count so far is 4 globe, 5 brid, 0
Are y'all even hearing me at all? Am I like?
Yeah, we can hear you. Just Rick wanted to jump in here, and like I said, if Vince and Rick want to jump in, I think it's fair. Vince is ceding a lot of his time asking questions, so if he has a thought, I do want to let him in too. So
yeah, let Rick go first.
Go ahead,
Rick.
Yeah. They keep bringing up Blue Marble, and I want to say first I want to commend Brian on his initial presentation, because what he said was that there's no full Earth photos, which I'll show that in a second. But the other part, he spent the next 9 minutes saying that the horizon could not be used to determine the shape of the Earth. And with that, I 100% agree. So since we both agree you can't determine the shape of the Earth because it's constantly changing, let's no longer use that. let's do actual observations of the Earth. So I would like to present my screen. This will not take but about a minute if I can. My mouse isn't moving very well.
No
Great.
worries. I'm ready when you are.
Yeah, but I'm not. I don't want my mouse to go bad. Oh, what's going on?
What's going on?
Computer's acting
What's
up.
going on?
What's going on? Slim Shady.
Right.
Get your Slim Shady.
Trying to get
Oh,
us, trying to get us
It's
demon.
gonna work. It's gonna work, but I don't know whether I'm gonna be able to do what I want to do. Anyway, this is Apollo 8. This is the photo. Is that showing?
Yep, we got your screen
Yes.
share up there.
Okay. Did the next one show?
Yep, it's showing your screen.
That's Apollo 11. That's a different look. That's Apollo 12. That's a different look. That's Apollo 15. Those are all from the films from the moon landings. And these are not photographs. They're not digital. These were done in the late 60s, early 70s. And they are actually frames from the film. There's no fakery. There's no anything. Now, as I said in my beginning, the only thing you will be able to say is they are fake. But you can't say that the only photos we have are digital. These are not digital photos. They are actual frames from the films from the Apollo missions.
Did you see what happened on the way to the moon? If you'd seen that, you'd see that they accidentally sent Bart Sibrel a clip on accident, and he showed how they did this. They put an insert in the window, backed up, and they had a round window. And man, if you got to do a little more research, man. That's embarrassing. That's why you never see that on any debates. That's why any of the experienced globe earthers never bring that up, because that's been smashed to smithereens. They showed how they do it, and they were supposed to be almost to the moon, like over halfway there, and they were supposedly like just 100 miles up or a few hundred miles up. You know, they to even see the Earth like that. If they were halfway to the moon, you'd see a small little Earth, but the Earth that they had in their little circular window covered the whole screen. So, dude, NASA's been destroyed, bro. They've been destroyed. I wouldn't use them as references, man. I'd try and dodge that if I were you.
Exactly what I said. You would just say they were fake.
So, are y'all hearing anything I'm saying? Like, I feel like y'all are hearing me verbally, but mentally it's just not sinking in. All this stuff I'm telling y'all, you're just...
What Rick is trying to say that no matter what he presents to you, you're not going to believe.
They showed, and let me repeat real quick. They showed how they did that, and it was Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin talking when they were supposed to be almost to the moon, and they had a Earth filling up a whole little tiny window, meaning they were up maybe 20 miles or something.
Is this one from the window? Is this one from the window? The one I have on?
That is, if you go into Photoshop and you do photo forensics, you'll see a square around that.
Right, it's fake. I understand.
It's Photoshop, dude. They already admitted that. Hold on, NASA has already admitted it. They said, hold on, real quick, last thing. NASA admitted, and they pulled it down. They said that they did it for optic effects. NASA's already retracted that that's real. They admitted, because how could they deny it? So now NASA even admits it, and you're still sitting there in your little chair denying it, bro. This is hilarious.
It is hilarious. I agree with that. So I'm going to give that one to Globe. So it's 5 Globe, 5 bread, 0 flat.
Listen, this is nonsense. Nobody wins any debate. You know who? What it is for?
Going to win.
No, you know what it is for? It's for the audience. That's all it is for.
Right.
We're not gonna, you know.
Oh yeah, Brad's going to defeat Flat Earth today.
This is just nonsense.
Definitely, this debate it's humorous. That's what it is. It's just a laugh.
Well, that's great.
Just at your expense, because it's
absolutely. I'll take it all on. Yes,
it's nonsense
at my expense. That's fantastic. I'm glad, but I just want to ask you guys, why are you defending this so much? Wouldn't you also want to know the real truth? Meaning
evidence.
What evidence? Yeah. Why don't you ask for, so the greatest scientist in the world holds a debate with flat earthers and squash this immediately in that debate? Why aren't you pushing for that?
You don't need them. I just showed it.
Oh, obviously you do need. Hold on now. hold on.
Your eyes will block.
Obviously you need to, because flat earthers are growing by the day to the point where YouTube, Google, they're so worried they have to bury it in the YouTube algorithms and shit like that. They have to put a banner under there. And we all know the banner indicates that the thing is probably true, because the things they put a banner on before, like I said earlier in my presentation, turned out to be true. But anyways, you would want that, wouldn't you? So we can end this. But apparently you guys don't want that. That's weird.
If there was evidence to show that the Earth was flat, they were lying to us, and everything else that comes with it, then yeah, I'll look into it.
No, you should
Definitely.
push.
Of course, no,
You
no,
should
no. I
push
no,
for
I would
this
not
debate.
push. No,
No, for the debate. You know,
okay.
you don't think it's weird that
Yeah.
Neil deGrasse Tyson is afraid and rejects a debate? You don't think that's fishy?
All right, let's.
Neil deGrasse Tyson is. Go on, sorry, Ryan.
No,
Can
I
we
was going
not
to say, let's
talk
let
about
Danny respond to some of
Okay.
what you put out there.
Neil deGrasse Tyson is a communicator, scientific communicator. So he gets things wrong. Like when he said that the Felix Baumgartner jump, said that at that distance you will not be able to see the curvature of the Earth. But then Felix, who went up there, said that he saw the curvature of the Earth.
You see my presentation, man?
Well, who are you gonna believe now?
Yes.
Neil deGrasse Tyson or the other guy?
So
Yeah,
Planet
I
New
wrote
Mexico.
it down.
Who are you
I
gonna
wrote it
believe?
down that you put Felix. Say
So
that again.
Planet New Mexico, is that it? Planet New Mexico. Well, they forgot about the camera behind his shoulder, and then when they got up to 120 something thousand feet, he opened the door. Not only was the horizon right there almost at eye level, it was flat as a pancake, man. Dude, all these proofs they're bringing up are just backfiring on you.
Okay.
You see,
I'll tell you what then.
Hold on, I'm almost done. Y'all are accusing us of ignoring it. Y'all are just hand wave dismissing, dude. Just whistling past the graveyard, dude. Like, what is going on?
So the image that was shown in the footage for the space jump, right? You say that's fisheye, right?
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Admitted fisheye.
Right, okay. So tell me this: if we were above a flat plane, under a dome, right? Do you reckon with a fisheye on it, we would see the wall?
Who said there's got to be a dome? You know, you're jumping to conclusions.
Yeah.
Sounds like desperation, guys.
Okay,
Nobody
well,
said that.
75, 80% of flat earthers think there's a dome
could be a
around
dome.
us.
Yeah, but it's all speculation.
That's why, because that's why they bring up the gas pressure without a container. That's why they bring all that stuff up. But I showed you in the video gas pressure without a container, and he actually scooped the gas out and then poured it out of a container.
Yeah. What was it in? Poured it what? Out of what?
No, what I'm saying is when he poured it. No, hold on. When he hold on.
Yeah,
when he poured it out, it wasn't in a container when it
What did
came
he pour
out
it out of? What did he pour it out of?
We lost your visual, right?
No, it was a container to scoop it, but as he
Container,
went to pour
okay.
it,
So it did
Yes.
need a container then, right?
yeah, no, but it didn't need a container when it was pouring out. When it was pouring out and hit it in the silver thing that they made, it went down. There was no container for when it came out and it hit the boat. That hit the thing in what they call a boat inside the tank.
But
So
again,
from one container to another container, and you're saying that no container.
Yes, but it wasn't in a container when he was emptying it.
Was it his
But-
hands?
So it was. No, it was out of the container.
What happened
Do
if
you
it
know
was
what?
in his hands? What would
Do you-
happen if
you know,
it was just in the palm of his hands? What would happen to it then? What would happen?
All right, okay, so what about if you had a cup of coffee and you pour it? It's going to come out. And then when it does come out, is that in a container? No, it's not. That's what happened with the gas. The gas poured out in the air and it went down and put pressure onto the silver boat thing that they made. Do you know what? Fight the Flat Earth, right? He did a debate arguing about this. I can't remember what his name was. And he was about 20 minutes or something or so trying to explain to this guy that when you're pouring it out, it was not in a container anymore, and they hit the silver thing that they built that was hovering on top of the gas.
Listen, man,
You're pouring it out.
Gas has no molecular bonds, not even with itself. Okay, it's elastic collisions. It's elastic collisions. Okay, it disperses. Okay, if you want, I'll pull something up. I'll pull Wikipedia up, showing you that gas is free to, it can and will expand and fill its container, period. Whatever it's contained in, so will water. I mean, you're talking about this heavy gas like sulfur hexafluoride. Yeah, it's still going to expand and fill. And
That's what it was.
It might take a little bit longer, but it's going to disperse. It's got to be contained, man. Gas.
Where did it disperse when it was in that tank? When the tank was open? When
to the edges of the tank, bro. To the edges of the tank.
Yes, but it was still in there. It was still in the container.
Well,
it just wasn't a closed system. The container was an open system, and they made a makeshift foil boat thing to go on top of the gas.
So
they went in, scooped it, and then they poured the gas out. The gas is now not in a container from here to the silver thing that they built.
Is that your argument that Earth is an open system?
Well, what we have gravity. That's our container.
Well, you just said it's an open system, open container, pretty much. Are you arguing that Earth is an open system? Because it's not considered one, yet y'all supposedly send rockets through and all this stuff, man. I think y'all are.
Of course.
Y'all are we have rockets to accept NASA, and everything we show you, you're just hand wave dismissing is weird. And
I'm not. How am I hand wave dismissing it? I had to train.
Danny. You don't think it's weird that the sun and the moon are pretty much the similar size?
No.
You don't think that's weird?
That's just to do.
You don't think that's weird that you believe? No, you believe that the sun is 400 times further away and 400 times as big. You buy that shit.
3 billion miles away.
Hold on, you buy that shit over just buying that these are two local objects, light, positive light, negative light, same size, just. That's it, yin and yang.
Okay, I've got a question for you. I don't want to take too much of the floor. I want Rick to have his say. Just one more question, Ryan. So you got the local lights that you call the moon and the sun, whatever you just said, right?
Yeah.
First of all, I want to know what is moving them around the planet. I want to know what is moving them. I want to know the magic. I want to know what the unicorn farts is. I want to know what it's called. Yeah.
Dude.
And also, are they spheres up there, or do they count as a spotlight?
I don't think they're spheres.
Answers, are you going to go to the flat Earth if we
they're not spheres, so they got to be spotlights coming down on your piece of
projection, maybe hologram. I don't know what the fuck. Yeah, from outside, projecting in.
Looks like a sphere.
That's why you probably don't see. That's why you don't see the backside of the moon. That motherfucker is, one-sided.
Well, actually, I just showed you a picture of my presentation where the people in Chile, people in South Africa, and Saudi Arabia can see different sides of the moon, if they were to look at it.
Really?
From the flat Earth.
It just showed you one there. That's what it is.
Welcome to flat Earth.
Do you know what? I knew it wouldn't take long until you said that.
If it was 240,000 miles away, we wouldn't see different sides of it, would we?
To be fair, it was a whole hour.
It's 200. No. It's 238,000 miles. Yeah, of course it is. But what's that got to do with anything?
Hold on. I feel when the sun comes, it doesn't even. On these animations, you can see a big termination line, where the light. Line. Yeah, the Terminator line. Yeah. I don't see that. I live in a small town in Stockholm, near Stockholm, small town. It's not big, but I live on a hill or whatever. I don't know how to say it, but I can see so far. I see when the sun comes, it just looks like a local thing that lights up around it, and that's it. It doesn't look like a big ass Terminator line at all, man. And going back to what Brian said, it feels like it brings the heat with it, and after an hour or so, it moves away, and so does the heat with it. That should not happen if the sun is that far away and we're just spinning around. That shit should not happen.
What about the tilt, Vince? What about the tilt, dude? Tilt's got to explain.
Yeah, I think they're just. I think they're just retro. Yeah, I just want to say this. I think they retrofitted whatever this plane is to a bullshit globe model. I don't know how it's done. My intuition is saying
we have a tilt on our axis.
Huh?
We have a tilt on our axis, 23.5 degrees. Tilted, right? That determines the seasons as we orbit our sun.
Oh,
that's how we get seasons.
Hey, okay, let me throw this.
No, not your hoppily hop bloody sun that goes on top of your bloody pancake. That doesn't work.
What's
It's
moving
how
your sun?
nothing is moving your sun.
man?
You can't explain. You can't explain why it's moving your sun from tropic to tropic.
Danny,
You can't.
All right,
do it.
Vince had a question.
Tell me
But-
why
but-
it's moving.
But the
Tell me
Big
what's
Bang
moving your
does.
sun.
Hold on.
What's
I
moving
believe
your
that.
sun, Danny?
I believe the Big Bang is just made up so that they can have a explanation to why everything is spinning and moving. You know, a bullshit. The first time an explosion creates complex life. Think about how
That's what our
stupid
sun
that
is.
is. Think
The
about how
little bit.
dumb that is. That is incredibly dumb. Incredibly dumb. An explosion that creates shit.
All right, Rick's trying to jump in here, so go ahead.
That's
Rick.
just your personal Julie, isn't it?
What?
All right, Rick, it's your turn. Let's get you in here.
Well, that's all been real fun, but I had to add 2 more to Brett on that because nothing showed the shape of the Earth. There was no discussion about it. What I'd like to do now is share my screen again. If I can get it up, it won't last long.
That's what she said.
You can go ahead.
Come on, the dick jokes is getting old, man.
What are you talking about?
They're getting it up, man. It's getting old.
It's just making rounds now.
That's all
I
right.
know,
Vince
but it's
always
getting
has that
old.
problem.
I get it. I think
you just have a dirty mind.
Oh,
It's
you
all right,
mean
Vince,
you?
They got
Yeah,
Viagra for that.
yeah, that's good. They
It's
need that.
probably just me. It's fine.
This
All
is
right.
right.
They need Viagra.
Whenever you're ready. Rick.
All right.
Oh,
This is a
man.
You brought this up.
I'm telling you, I won't last long.
So you
I
see
won't-
again, dick
I
jokes.
won't last long.
We
It's
get the
just,
screen.
y'all have talked for the past 30 minutes without me talking. So let me.
That's true.
Let me get in.
Sorry, Rick, it's all yours. All yours.
Let me get in 3 minutes. 3 minutes. This
All
is a lake in Louisiana called Lake Pontchartrain. These transmission towers were seen. They're equal distance apart, equal height, and you can see if you get at the right angle, you can see them going over the curve of the water. This is approximately 16 miles. This has been done multiple times. And you can see where you can see completely to the other side where they have a big giant tower. This was found, and you can find these on Soundly on YouTube. Now, there's also a causeway that goes, I believe, 24 miles. And the causeway shows the same thing. The reason you don't see flat water, just look to the left. You cannot see a curve in the water. You have to have something above the water to gauge, like the Bedford level experiment. These houses are all the same distance out of the water, all the same distance apart. The causeway is the same distance out except for the marine humps. And it plainly shows the curvature of water. So what y'all have been asking for the past 10 years, here it is.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. It's been done on film. It's been done by multiple people at the same time. It's been done at night. And again, the only thing you're going to say is it's fake.
No.
Don't believe
I'm not
it.
gonna say it's fake.
Because, wait, I'm almost finished.
Oh.
Almost finished. All you have to do to see this is go there.
Yeah,
This is in the United
I live
States.
there, man.
And
For,
see-
for
no, okay. I almost finished. That was really nice, but thank you.
bro,
I'm
it's
finished
just
now.
meta. You
All
already
right,
made your
let's-
point. Can we respond?
Well, yeah, he
Yes,
just
I'm
wrapped up,
finished.
so
It
we'll
didn't
end the
take
screen
that
share.
long.
Can you hit play on that, please, so the audience can see?
No, it's just these
Yeah,
are just.
yeah.
Oh, they're
Just-
screen captures.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if he could hit play, if you allow me to share, Ryan, and I'll show what he's trying to show is laughable. This is a glow-proof backfire.
All right. If you
And
want to share the original footage,
No, of course it is.
That's all right.
Yeah,
There's 50 or more films. I don't know what he's going to pull up. but
Yeah,
there's
a
multiple,
real one.
multiple,
One.
many.
I'll show you what I'm
Many,
gonna pull up. Okay.
Rick, they're always going to be anti-globe. They're
No,
always
y'all
anti-globe.
just take everything for
just-
whatever it is. Okay. Now look here.
It's just what I
On the screen,
said.
Okay.
It's either fake or they don't believe it.
See
They
this?
they can't even get the right or left on the Antarctic Cup race.
I
So,
know,
I mean, it was
I know.
over. It
And
was
then,
over.
and then
at my
apparently
presentation.
the stars, you got to be the other side of the stars to see the other
You see them
rotation.
cars there? You see them cars on screen? What is that? what's happening on screen? You think that the cars are climbing up a freaking 80-degree slope? Does that look compressed
Looks like
to you? Okay, we've
Yes.
already proved that he
Yes,
admitted
it's compressed.
these are
Yes.
compressed. It's
Yes.
compression.
Yes.
Okay, now
Yes.
let's complete. Okay, you don't have to keep saying yes so nobody can hear
Well,
me. Okay,
you keep asking, so I keep answering.
so looky here. Okay, that image is compressed. Okay, and if you completed that curve you had on screen, you'd get a planet Louisiana. Okay, bro, y'all are just accepting. Here's in your own picture. You look at the horizon and it's flat as a pancake, man. You think we live on a cylinder? Y'all just take soundly and all these things and just take surface level horse shit, man. If you dug into a little bit deeper, you'd see that we have crushed all of these observations. See that horizon? See that bridge? Okay, now look, see that? That's the causeway.
really
That's
big.
Causeway.
The Earth
That's
is
24
really,
miles,
really,
bro.
really big.
24 miles, bro. You see that? That's reality. That's not looking at refraction down low to the water.
Well, that's lovely
I mean,
curvature.
why are
That's
y'all
lovely.
dude, y'all accept anything but reality. That's where you
You're
see that?
forgetting the top
Where's
of
the
the
curve?
tower.
Wait, where's the curve, bud?
75 feet up.
What happened to the curve?
Oh, I can explain that if you'll allow me to.
Yeah,
Like
Rick, go on.
Would you allow me? Give me, I don't know.
Yeah, I had to pay you
40
back there. Go ahead, Rick.
All right, let's let
Would
Rick
you
in here,
allow
guys.
me?
Go ahead there, Rick. We'll give you
Okay.
some space here.
Everyone, listen.
We'll end the screen share.
Even
Look at
global-
that. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Maybe I did the
No,
wrong
go.
thing.
No.
It will only take less than a minute. And I'll explain this. And I'll also answer it for Globers that don't know this. Okay. If you take your hand and stick it out in front of you, this is going to simulate your eye height and how far you can see the horizon. And if you move your hand in a semicircle around the side of you, just like this, that's how far you see in every direction. The horizon is not a straight line. The horizon is the distance you see. If you're in the middle of the ocean in a boat, the horizon is an equal distance around you. It's not a straight line. And I can present this whenever you get ready. Thank you.
Yeah, if you wanted to do another screen share in a second there, that's fine, Rick. But Danny, you wanted to jump in here, and then we'll go around the panel there and give our thoughts. Well,
There's so much. It's so much dirt. It's so much. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to regather my thoughts at the moment. They just don't get it. They don't get it. We're showing them pictures. We're showing them evidence and everything. I showed them a picture of 3 boats, and one was clearly behind. Unless people are drowning and they need help, and the Coast Guard's coming out, or a helicopter's coming to save them, it shows curvature. It just does. And you know, I honestly thought they're going to bring refraction into it, but refraction is a thing. So, because I was expecting the Black Swan to come up, because I think
Danny.
Vince done that last time.
Danny, do you think if it was the
Well,
other way? Huh?
Can I finish? Ryan said I could finish showing the.
well, let's just let Vincent in right
Okay.
quick. Just you
No,
can
but
leave
if
the
he's
screen share.
if he has this screen there, then go for it.
Oh, we're all being so
Right.
polite. That's great. All right, go ahead there, Rick.
This,
No, but it's efficient. Yeah.
Right. This is the side view of the causeway where the horizon appears. They're always asking us, well, wouldn't it dip over the edge? Well, if you have an equidistance object like the causeway above the water, it actually does, because as I said, the horizon is a curved line around you. Imagine a hula hoop. So, but where the causeway is straight. So as I'm showing you right here, this straight causeway is dipping on both ends. It's not dipping on the horizon. It's well beyond the horizon where each end is dipping.
Right.
Okay.
Welcome to Flat Earth. Do we live on a cylinder?
Ah,
I think he was asking that as a question. If you wanted to respond.
welcome to Flat Earth. Do you know how stupid you look when you say
Everything
that?
y'all
You
presented
can't,
has been Flat Earth proof,
you can't just go, oh, welcome to Flat Earth.
Yes, I
You
can.
haven't,
When you
like,
show
sh-
stars separating, I can say welcome to Flat Earth when you can't explain it. Stars
Yes, because
literally separating away from each other.
Ah.
You think that can happen if we're rotating? You didn't have an explanation. Everything y'all showed.
We are on a ball. We're on a ball.
That's all you can
The
say.
Northern Hemisphere, up north, anti-clockwise, stars, Polaris. Southern
Everything
Hemisphere.
you've shown-
the
Why
Southern
should a
Cross.
ball have a north and a south? Why should a ball have that?
What do you mean?
Why should a ball have north south?
If I went
It's a
digging,
ball.
What
if
north?
I-
What northern
Danny,
and south? What the
Yeah, why should it
hemispheres?
have it? Yeah, but it makes more sense
We
that
have
it's
we have the equator that
Danny, if
separates
I
both.
dug a hole, would I come out? If I
And the
dug all the way
equator, the
straight through,
stars
would I
are
come out
different.
feet
The
first
stars
and
are
head
Yeah,
straight?
I said this with Mactoon. You know, if you dig down, and if you could, you dig down past the core, and then if you continue digging with this machine drill, you would have to make 180 flip, you know, at some point to dig up now. Like there would be some weird fucking flip because now you have to drill up now,
And worse
right?
than that, if I started down if I started a hole like at a 1 degree angle, just straight down, you'd get deeper and deeper in reality. In their world, if you started a hole at a little angle like a tunnel, you'd pop back up 69 miles away. That's just ridiculous. Everything
Yeah.
y'all shown has been flat earth proof.
Think about
Every
how
single-
retarded it is, what you guys believe. It's absolute retardness. Oh, can I say that?
Okay.
Retardness, I mean.
So the star trails that I showed in my presentation, the boats that clearly went over the horizon, the blink test that Resmetric did in Tampa Bay in Florida, showing the buildings obscured by the horizon and then brought back again.
Oh, I thought the horizon didn't do nothing. I thought I showed my presentation the horizon moving around, and now,
But you
now, all, of a
saw
sudden,
that-
now all of a sudden,
but-
now all of a sudden,
No.
the horizon has all this meaning.
No,
when
you saw
think
the
that.
blink test. Saw the blink test when he
You
filmed
saw
it,
Skunk Bay,
and it was
didn't you?
underwater. The buildings were underwater.
You saw Skunk Bay with the mountain, the same place as the top of the mountain at the same place the horizon was at the start of the time lapse, bro. Now you're trying to use that as some kind of evidence after just dismissing it when I showed it.
There's
Ridiculous.
evidence of evidence of
Pretty
curvature.
gross.
Yeah,
Can I say this?
evidence
Can
of
I say,
curvature.
can I say
There is
this?
slight refraction, but you know.
Sure thing. We got
Let's say-
40 minutes left of open discussions, so yeah. if
Okay,
you wanna
okay.
Jump in there.
Let's say,
Sorry, how
let's
long?
40
say
minutes.
40 seconds.
Oh, 40 seconds.
40
Wow.
seconds.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
getting
wow,
near the
I
end. I
didn't
mean,
even
if you
get to
guys
the
want to go,
Antarctica.
if you want to go for another round, we can certainly
No,
set
no,
another.
sir, please, no.
He went too fast. He went too fast, man.
You went so fast. Look at that.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
so
Well,
Yeah,
I'm,
okay.
I'm waiting for my
I'll tell
first
you what, then.
question to be answered. Though.
Can I just say this? Can I just say
let's
this?
let Vincent in here, guys.
If it was the other way around, let's say we didn't have these NASA people, these technologies, these wizard words from these scientist priests. If it was known in society that the Earth was flat, and then somebody like you came with all of your bullshit excuses for all these bullshit stuff that you tried to make us believe, would you have ridiculed the fuck out of those things, or would you have accepted them? Meaning, the consensus is it's flat, and then here I come with all of these things about the globe, like trying to convince you it's a globe with all of these stuff that you guys bring up, the things you can't verify yourself. You just have to have faith in me and shit like that. Would you believe it? You would not believe it if I came and tried to convince you it's a globe when you thought it was
Not for
a
a
flat
second.
world.
Yeah.
Unless it was for technology and these scientists and these governmental people telling you it's a globe. You're living in a
Vince, they
you
didn't
are
say-
brainwashed.
All right,
Tilted,
so
man.
let's let them respond to that question of
Would y'all
kind
think
of
your
putting it
world's
into a
tilted?
faith-based.
Yeah, would it think
idea.
it's spinning 4 different ways?
So, do you think that's a fair criticism? Let's hand it back to Danny.
Do you know what? I don't know what the hell he was talking about.
What
I have no
what I'm
idea
saying
what he's
is,
talking about.
if
I think
everything was
you're trying
known to be flat, if everybody knew it was flat, and there was no technology, no scientists, this and that, and I came and told you, listen, it's not flat. It's actually a ball, and it's tilted, and it's spinning 1,000 miles per hour, and then it's rotating around that little thing, that little local sun. You think it's a local sun. It's not local sun. It's 260 million billion light years. I don't know what the fuck they say. All of these fucking excuses you are bringing to us, would you have believed me if I was the Globie and you were the Flatty and there was no scientist priest telling you this whole fucking fairy tale? I could just say you wouldn't
Depends.
believe me.
It depends.
You wouldn't believe me.
Well,
because
if there was
because you would
evidence on
say
the side of
that's
it, but-
bullshit. Yeah. Anyway.
Y'all are funny, man.
All right, I think we're gonna wrap
You know
up. Oh,
Do you know what? I'm sorry, Brian. There's something I wanted to mention. It is quick. I just want a response from both Vince and Brian. The final experiment, right? If they go down there, and in my evidence I showed you the 24-hour sun. If they go down there and they see the 24-hour sun, would that convince you to change your mind back to the globe?
That would rule out a North Pole centered flat Earth, but like I showed at the beginning, in the middle, equatorial centered AE map predicts that. But yeah, it would rule out the AE map, the North Pole centric AE map. To be honest,
And I must say, the name is very suspicious. The final experiment. It sounds very weird. Like, we do this and it's over, okay? You shut up. If we prove to you this, you shut up from now on. That alone makes me very suspicious. Daddy government. I don't trust daddy government like you guys
have
do.
to add that to loaf of bread.
All right, we are already over
You love
time.
daddy government.
All right, we're already a little over time, guys. So yeah, we're gonna get into those audience questions because those can push us into
basically, they didn't answer the question.
No, I said it would.
All right, 1 second there, guys. Hold on. I don't want to put
Not
everybody.
even the first one, left to right side of the boat.
Am I gonna have to mute everybody? I'm gonna have to mute everybody just to get into these questions, guys. 1 second, everybody. Just chill for 2 seconds. So I'm just gonna address the audience and go over the poll, and we're gonna ask those questions because where you guys seem to definitely still have lots still that you want to get into, and that's exciting. That means that, like I say, the audience is gonna get some unpacking here. So we have almost 700 votes. Once I get 700, I'm gonna end the poll here. We got 55% voted a globe, 25% voted for flat, and then 20% said a loaf of bread. They're not playing by the rules. Nonsense. Anyways. All right, so we're having fun. Let's carry into those questions. If you have a question for any of our speakers, you want to push our conversation into some new territory, that's going to happen naturally as we go through these questions anyway. So I think Rick is just taking a moment there. So yeah, once again, if you haven't already hit the like button, if you don't know how YouTube works, hit the subscribe, notification bell, make sure you get our alerts, all that good gravy. LJ is asking the first question. He says, Danny Turner, why you use a CGI painting in your intro? And then in capitals, he says, fool.
CGI.
They love CGI. But hey, I'm half with you.
I hold on, I'm a bit confused. What's CGI?
I'm not sure.
I have no idea. So, wait there. I think it was when I in my presentation I showed the blue marble. I think it might have been the blue marble.
You like them balls,
LJ.
Danny.
I've watched I'm a big fan of MDD, and I know LJ is a big supporter, and I'm sure the Jupiter question is going to come up soon.
Danny, you like balls. Danny,
oh
you
my
like
goodness.
balls.
No, we're not doing that. All right, free Palestine. The gravity of the situation is that even the Greeks knew Earth is flat and stationary. The Antikythera? There, I got it. Mechanism, aka flat Earth working model.
Like this clock at Prague shows all that, you know, it's all geocentric, flat.
Any responses from the other side? So the Greeks knew Earth is flat and stationary. The Antikythera mechanism, aka flat Earth working model. Any thoughts on the other side?
That's an persuasive argument called talking past the cell. You make a claim that someone knew something and then go somewhere else, but they didn't know it, obviously. That's all that is.
Yeah. Do you know what the Antikythera mechanism is by just throwing that out there?
Is that showing flatness or curvature? Then I don't care.
All right. So that's what he's been projecting the whole debate. So there's just more projection. They asked for a model. We give them the Antikythera, a physical model of the sun and the moon and stars and all that, and he just don't care.
You don't accept any science. But you don't accept any science, so I just showed it.
I
to you.
showed exactly, Rick. I showed him pictures of boats going over the horizon and the star trails and everything that we observe in reality, and they've hand waved.
Hold on. In my opener, last thing, Ryan. In my opener, I literally showed a glober, mind you, showing with professional equipment a horizon above eye level, blocking a freaking lighthouse, the lighthouse part of it. So and then y'all even said in the debate, well, we're not going to use seeing too far and things like that. And then you want to throw up obstruction. I killed that in my opener.
I said that.
He said that.
I said that. I said I'm not going to argue it because only thing you proved in your presentation was that globe can't use it or you can't use it because it changes. So you cannot use it to determine what is the distance of anything or the shape of anything. That's all I said.
Can't use it either.
That I wouldn't.
Danny can't use it either then.
Well, he can use it. I just went for a loaf of bread on that.
Fair enough.
All right, let's ask the next
Sorry,
one.
Ryan.
No, it's all good. No, you don't have to be so Canadian about it. It's modern day debate. It's all good.
It's a British thing. It's fun.
Yeah. No, it's all good. So Free Palestine says, from the river to the sea, I can see no curvision. Curvizon. Okay, no curve on the horizon. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, I think that's for us. Just to go back to my presentation where I showed the boats and the blink test from Res Rhetoric. Thank you very much.
Any response from the other side there?
Yeah, have y'all done any? I'm not saying this to be a jerker. Have y'all done any real world observations? Like, got the zoom cameras and went out there to see any of this for yourself? Because I bet you haven't. If you had, you'd know that some days we do get that. But on a nice clear day with no miraging, dude, we see forever, man. On a nice crystal clear day, that would have to be the day when we have a nice clear atmosphere where we got all this refraction going on. But that's the days with magnification and all this stuff. That's when you do get obstruction where you can zoom in all you want. But these are things you can't even see with your naked eye in the first place. You need equipment to see it. But like I said, on a good crystal clear day, you're going to see it to infinity, man. Things just shrink or fade out. So,
why do you think the flat Earth is still growing? Because I believe
it's not growing.
It is growing. It is becoming really big, man. To the point, listen, to the point where if you're a globie, you're like, oh, you're tarded. Are you a globie? Are you tarded? That's how it's starting to turn. It's starting to turn to that way, you know. So it's growing because it probably holds truth. If it doesn't hold truth, it wouldn't grow. So I think they're worried about this. They're worried about people believing it's a flat Earth. I think they're worried. They are.
I like that what you have on the screen right there, Vinny. I like that.
Yeah, I was trying to pull up what he said about the bridge or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Let's give him a chance to respond to your
why does it happen on a flat
there.
surface? Huh?
Vince, you seem to think that when I believe in the globe is all a belief. It's not. I follow the evidence that comes upon me, and I see. Okay, cool. That's fine. It's a globe, and there's evidence for it. We've got the curvature. We've got the way that we orbit around the sun in respect to seasons, and there's just nothing you can do about it.
What's moving the Earth?
Well, we are in a downfall. In fact, in space. Well, it's just in a continuous sort of. It's
the point is, don't ask us what's moving our sun if you can't even answer what's moving the Earth. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being fair.
The problem is that doesn't explain. You haven't shown it's flat. You're just asking these.
Yeah, I know.
Can I just say? Can I say something weird?
Hold on, let's let Rick finish here.
And I've shown it. Y'all have shown. You've literally shown nothing. That
just 140 miles at 3 foot height, nothing at all. Right.
You can't see it unless there's a gauge.
Why does the street lights do the same thing you showed, Rick? Like
because it's on an arced bridge. This is not
even now. You can see there. You can see there. It's going.
Yes, it's arced.
This is a fucking flat street, like a
Well,
road.
like a
Can you
concrete
show us?
floor.
Also,
Can you show us your
also.
flat Earth model?
Also,
Show
let me
us your
just
model, mate. Go on.
let me just show you this, Danny. You talked about the stars, blah blah blah. Well, how come the stars here? This is a flight from a quarter of the Earth, I don't know where, like a long distance, and this plane right here. Let me play.
Yeah.
Hold on. How come the stars doesn't rise above, like this? It's almost still. Hold on. It's almost still. And if it's moving this way. It's not moving above the plane's head as it's supposed to do.
Yeah, he's
and then,
traveling to the southern hemisphere. That airplane's traveling from the north to the southern hemisphere. It should be doing different shit.
yeah, and when you put it on
Yeah,
the
but-
Google Earth, this is how Google Earth shows you what it should be looking like. You see, this is the same route.
Where
this
are
is
you
the,
again? You in Spain?
This is the same route. You see how they are displaying the stars and everything going above the plane? That doesn't happen in reality, which is
You have to
kind of-
lower your screen a little bit. I think.
Yes.
Ah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
hold
But
on.
have you tried looking at it from Earth instead of where you are wait, that you're showing now? What are you showing? Yeah.
This is Google Earth
If you-
right now.
Yeah.
That's what
And it-
Google Earth predicts, but the airplane in real life showed different.
And this
So
is the airplane from real life. Hold on. This is the airplane from real life right now. This one. Okay? Hold on.
Oh, here, we'll just share the screen this way so that they can all see that. So they can see your corner of your screen there.
Yeah. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, I got that on for the audience there. So yeah, he's just sharing it in his video.
Yeah.
So sorry if you guys
So
couldn't
it-
see that there.
So it's not moving above, above the head like Google Earth is displaying right here. Right here. Google Earth is showing it should move. This is the same path that plane took. And it should move above your head, which it ain't. And that's very fishy. That's all. I just think that's very fishy.
So do you think the stars are not moving there?
Not to mention, if the sun is in the center and we're in a solar system, then the stars on the opposite side of the sun we shouldn't see for about 3 or 4 months out of the year. You look at Orion and real world data, you see it every single month. You can see it every single month from somewhere on Earth. But if we're at the center of the solar system for 3 or 4 months period, it'd be daytime. You wouldn't see the stars every single month. You'd lose them 3 or 4 months out of the year. But real world data says otherwise,
And can I just throw in an odd thing here? Just quickly.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll close this one out after.
Yeah, quickly. I've heard a theory, which is very interesting, that we're supposed to really have 13 months instead of 12, okay? It should be 28 days for each month even. But they have hidden 1 month and spread all the days of that month around the whole year. And the first year of the month is supposed to, the first year of the month of the year is supposed to be March, okay? Because December is supposed to be 10, and November is supposed to be 9, and October 8. And then January is 11, and February 12. But then there should be another month that is hidden. You know how you know that? Is if you divide 365 on, what is it?
364 about 28, yeah.
Yeah.
And so octa, what he's saying is octa,
13 months.
Septa,
You're talking-
septa means
you're talking about
7,
the moon.
octa means 8, nova
Yeah.
means 9, deca means 10, December 10. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good point, man.
And then January 11th, February 12th, and then there's a hidden month that should be there, but it's been scattered all over the other months.
All
That's
right.
why you have 28 days, 29 days, 30, 31.
All right, we're way out in the weeds, so I'm not entirely sure how that ties exactly into.
It ties somewhat. It's with the seasons and months and stuff like that. It should be 28 days a month.
All right.
On
Ryan,
each-
you are a gracious host, man. You've been so patient with us. man.
Yeah.
No worries, no worries.
Right on.
But we are going to move on. We have another question coming in.
Absolutely useless.
Me? No. Anyway, no, I know what you're saying. Man in Australia says $1 for $1 nothing. I don't have a question attached there. Man in Australia. So if you're still hanging out in Australia and want to ask a question, you can just put it in the live chat, and I'll keep an eye out for that. Free Palestine says, try tracing the analemma on your pseudoscience globe model with Polaris fixed above Earth. Welcome to Flat Earth in the center of the whole universe. So yeah, you want to go ahead there, Dan?
Yeah. The analemma, that was in my presentation, but I took it out last minute. So the analemma is the path the sun takes through the year. It doesn't work on the flat Earth. When they're doing donuts, like they're in the Grand Prix like Lewis Hamilton. How do you make if you're going from 1 to 1 to 1? Then how is that going to make a figure of 8 when you're going round and round and round and then skipping over again? I don't know how that would form. I don't know how that would form. I don't know how that will form a figure of 8 like that.
I showed a figure of 8. I've showed it the whole debate, the 2 rotations after equinox. The first day after equinox, the sun takes the other path and the southern hemisphere is a little bigger. But here, how about this? You just accept the analemma. How about look at the analemma on an actual globe and on Google Earth? It shows it wider, like by about 35% in the south. Why is it wider if the sun only deviates 3 million miles? If it's 90 million miles at its closest and 93 at its farthest, how are we getting a 35% bigger circle in the south? See, you're just doing surface level arguments. You're not looking deep.
So you want about how the sun's angular size changes very slightly bigger and smaller depending on where you are in the orbit.
Yeah, it's a lot wider. In the south, it's a lot wider. It's about 35% wider.
It's just the way it is. It's what it is. It's what we observe, and you just got to deal with it.
So their explanations, you just accept them just how it is. And
the government.
Because we
bigger in the south. But
no, it's because we have pictures. We have evidence for it. We have evidence that the sun is.
What you have is you take a picture and say, see globe. No, that don't work, man.
All right.
The globe.
Let's move into the next question there, guys. And thank you so much for entertaining our audience with their questions here. We appreciate our panel for engaging with you, our audience. We do have a couple more questions and more coming in. So yes, if you have a question, we are asking the audience questions now. Make sure if you haven't already, if you forgot how YouTube works, hit the like button, share this out in the spaces that you like to have these discussions. Let's see, LJ, nothing about even his dog knows yet, but I'm sure LJ will hit us up with that eventually. He says, why doesn't Earth spin under a hovering helicopter? Did you want to hit that one up there?
Because the atmosphere, the gravity holds everything to it as if it's not moving, but yet it is moving. We have to believe some fantastical bullshit excuses.
The atmosphere goes. The atmosphere goes.
Hidden in the wind.
Yeah, so the wind is going with the spin, right? The wind is going with the spin, but yet at the same time, it's doing its own thing, going all kinds of directions. Same with the water, right? The water is like almost statically held to the ball, but it goes all kinds of wavy directions. These are fantastical fairy tales.
All right,
fantastic.
The question is for Rick and Danny to start out here, so we'll let them respond to LJ. LJ's usually asking questions to the globe side, but yeah, no worries. That's all in good fun. So Rick, did you have?
Jupiter question.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I'm waiting for the Jupiter question. All right, go on.
He's just asking, why doesn't Earth spin under a hovering helicopter?
It's the atmosphere.
Both of you.
Yeah, go on, Rick.
Yeah, if you want to go ahead there, Rick.
The atmosphere, yeah.
Oh, well, I would say the same reason that's been explained to him 10,000 times, but that isn't about the shape of the Earth. I don't know why we keep talking about stars and all kind of stuff when I showed the shape of the Earth and they keep talking about stars and.
Hold on, Rick. Answer the question. The helicopter.
Hey, I'd pretend I'm a glober just to drink a beer with Rick, man. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just being honest. You're asking questions that have been explained hundreds and hundreds of times.
Well, take it 101 time.
None of them correspond with the shape of the Earth. So I want to stick to that. I think I've done that pretty well.
Rick.
And I'm still waiting on my question why the right side of the boat
Nah,
will
nah,
always
nah,
be
nah,
Antarctica.
Rick.
Well,
Rick.
that's just the first question.
They
that
ask
people
you a
ask.
question, and you respond with a question. That's not fair.
Gravity.
All right.
Gravity holds the air and everything. Okay.
All right, let's let Danny jump in here for the why doesn't Earth spin under a hovering helicopter? Since, like I said, we're getting quite a bit unpacked here. So go ahead there, Danny.
Because the atmosphere goes around, because the atmosphere goes with the Earth. That's why. The atmosphere is holding the. It's
That's
just like the atmosphere
hilarious.
is holding. It's just like the atmosphere holding all of us down. You know what
But
I
if
mean?
it
Like,
holds the air, how can the air at the same time go in different directions while being held by the spin? Explain that. Is it two different airs, airwaves, two
What?
different types of air? One air that goes with the curve, no, with the spin, and then simultaneously you have air flows that goes in all kinds of different directions. How the fuck does that work?
All right, we'll let you answer that, and then we'll get to the next one.
I just like
It
to
just-
say, tell Brian one thing real fast. I wish I had a beer right now.
I think what Rick's saying is that he would drink a beer with you either way. But yeah, if you want to
Yeah,
respond
right,
there, I don't think you have
yeah,
to
it's just
do anything.
it just travels with the it just travels with the atmosphere. There's
Yeah,
just
sounds great.
there's constant momentum there. So
Yeah.
All
So
right.
what height does it stop doing that? Because this is a big subject, but this only question. At what height does it stop traveling with atmosphere? Because Felix Baumgartner wound up like 100 miles east. If he went up in this balloon, he's just sitting there. So there's no atmosphere up there, supposedly like 0.01%, but he's still getting pulled with this non-atmosphere. I mean, dude, there's
Gravity.
yeah, everything y'all brought up pretty much.
Gravity.
And even the questions they're asking, man, they're good questions. Like, dude, y'all got destroyed, man. I hate to say it. This is a bad.
gravity pulls everything to the center of mass, doesn't it? So that's
So
yeah,
gravity-
just doing within the atmosphere.
Says
So
the scientist,
height,
please.
then, no height. There's no height where that stops happening. What if I'm
So
a million miles up? Do I still keep spinning with the Earth?
All right,
Like
let's
the
let him answer.
geostationary satellites, they just spin with it right up ahead, right up
Right,
above.
so you're saying that if the helicopter made it out to
I'm asking
low
what
Earth
height?
orbit,
Hold on.
Well,
You
I
did
I
ask a
know, but
question.
I know. But if the helicopter was to fly out to lower Earth orbit, then what about that? Then is that the same thing that you're asking me? So if it's going to lower Earth orbit, it's not going to stay within the atmosphere, is it? Because it's in low Earth orbit.
So a million miles.
The atmosphere is, you know, it rotates with the Earth, so it's.
So what
It
if
just
I'm
stays with
above
the
it?
atmosphere. That's
So
the
what
answer.
height does that stop happening? That's a simple question. At what height? The answer would be a height. So a million miles, 500,000 miles. What? I mean,
I wouldn't know. I'm not a helicopter pilot, but I wouldn't know.
All right, let's
That's
ask that
fair.
next
That's
question.
fair.
LJ has another question. So thank you, LJ, for your support of the channel. We appreciate it. And yeah, once again, I might be a little off my game today. I was up till like 2 a.m. last night. You know, I still got, like I say, color in my hair and stuff. I'm just a general mess. But yeah, if you enjoy it, yeah, hit the like button. And yeah, let's ask that question. LJ, NASA is just the adult version of Disneyland. Not much of a question, more of a statement. I don't know if there's too much we can engage with there, but I will, if our panel wants to jump in after, I will just go over our our poll that I put in the chat. So yeah, pay no mind to this. Don't take it personally. This is just how our audience pans out today. So, who did you find the most compelling on the panel? So far in lead, we got 41% for Danny, we got 24% for Rick, and then 18 and 18, Brian and Vince. So we're gonna that's.
Oh man, now I'm gonna cry. Brian, let's cry. Let's cry together, man.
yeah, I know, man. Here's my shoulder, man.
Well, we got.
Yeah.
So I
thank
mean,
you.
if we break it
Well,
up between
thing
the
is-
two of you, it's 36 to.
Yeah,
to
well, the thing is,
64,
if you
so.
bring evidence, then you'll get a more higher rating.
All right, so let's carry into the next questions. It's just for fun, but we do appreciate the audience input. Yeah, and nobody usually.
No,
gets
what it
too
is, you
burnt.
got Fight the Flat Earth with all his sock accounts typing Danny, click,
Right.
click. Like, we got it. We can't let you
well,
win.
All right, let's get the next question
well,
up there, guys. We got.
right.
I can't even say this. It's like it says Los Adurals. I don't know. You got a lot of symbols there. But yeah, for $2 Canadian, there's a explain the Coriolis effect as a flat earther. So If you want to jump. on
Isn't that when it is the water spins in opposite direction? Is that Coriolis effect? The water thing. The water,
it's an
right?
easy explanation. If you get on a merry-go-round.
Yeah, I did it in my tub,
ball.
man. I did it in my tub. Depending on how I direct the water. If I direct it to the left, it becomes that way. If I direct the water to the other way, it becomes the other way. So what? What?
Yeah, the Coriolis is a real effect. It just doesn't happen on Earth with the whole world. Like we're just saying, the hovering helicopter. If you raise a helicopter, there's no Coriolis. But real Coriolis, this is a real effect. And if you're on a merry-go-round and you throw a ball, it appears to curve. It's just an apparent force, okay? It's not real. It's an apparent motion. It's not real. So if you throw a ball, if you're on the spinning merry-go-round, it looks like it curves, but it doesn't in real life. You can film it from above and you see it's just traveling a straight path. That's actual real world Coriolis. There's no Coriolis with our Earth. That's ridiculous.
Okay, so in the northern hemisphere, you'll get like hurricanes, tornadoes that will spin anti-clockwise.
Yeah, but that's opposite the Foucault pendulum. That's opposite. The Foucault pendulum and the storms travel. One's counterclockwise, the other's clockwise. That's one of my globe-proof backfires. Check it out on Flat Earth Test.
What's that got to do with the Foucault's pendulum?
They go opposite directions. You can't say they're both Coriolis when one goes clockwise and the other goes counterclockwise.
If the Foucault's pendulum is assembled correctly, then you'll get a positive result.
Yeah, you get clockwise in the north and then counterclockwise storms. Can't be Earth rotation.
It's Coriolis.
Let's ask that next question there, guys. Jan Aranda says, "Oh, did you need something there, Rick?"
Yeah, just two things.
Sure.
I talked less than 10 minutes this whole debate, so
Yeah.
you should factor that in on who was more persuasive. So I feel per minute I was much more persuasive than anyone.
Cheers, Globe.
And secondly, this is more arguments about whether the Earth is rotating than the shape of it. And if I would have known that, I would have presented facts about that. But since I didn't, I'm not going to respond to that.
All right, let's ask the next question. And yeah, we appreciate you being here, Rick. And yeah, hopefully you feel like you did get your chance to say your piece when it was time. All right, good stuff. All right, yes, he's being selective. That's also a debate tactic, right? So let's keep them coming. Jan Aranda, what numbers you can predict based on Flat Earth model? If you can't predict anything, how is the Flat Earth model useful? And then they say, P.S. Ryan, you are the best. Well, thank you so much, Jan. And I'm always trying to get better. I'm not quite where I want to be yet.
I am the best.
All predictions are based on Flat Earth measurements. All of them. Angle has a vertex meeting two straight lines. So every prediction is a Flat Earth prediction. I can mathematically convert them to a globe, but that's not reality. The real world predictions are all Flat Earth measurements. All of them. Anti-Theorem mechanism, you just brought it up. There's a literal physical model with gears and all that predicting everything we see in the sky. So, yeah, you know, they don't want to acknowledge anything we've brought. They're just hand-wave dismissing everything, but like they probably will this. So.
Any thoughts on the other side?
Bro.
Sorry?
Oh, no, I was just asking if you had some thoughts. Cool story. He says, okay, well, yeah, we'll carry into the next one, also coming from Jan Randa. So quite a few engagements there, so we appreciate your support there, Jan. Too Flat, did you ever hear about optical illusions? How can you put so much trust in what you see? Did you ever see something that's not real?
You want to take that one, Vince?
I mean, you guys have bunch of CGI and shit, and you believe in that. We try it out with these cameras, zooming shit in, and we see what we see. You guys believe in fairy tales, so I don't understand. You're thinking,
man.
You're thinking we are the weirdos.
Prince, are you an expert in CGI?
I am really good with it. I actually worked with video games and VR. I made probably the best soundtrack to Tarzan VR. I'm a master composer. So I worked with VR I've played video games almost whole my life. I know how to detect CGI and shit like that. I'm
I'll
very
say
good.
one more thing. She said optical illusion. Like when he tried to use that Pontchartrain bridge, I went to one of my videos and pulled up, instead of just a picture playing, you see them cars are literally that it's compressed. It's an optical illusion that just like he was showing the flat streets with the street lights going down. If you finish that curve on the Pontchartrain bridge, you get a Earth about the size of half of Louisiana. So that's optical illusions. Is the evidence the globe uses. It's all trickery.
You have to also ask, why the hell would we even want to be on this side? This is a bad, like, it's not nice to be on this side. You get ridiculed, called all kinds of names. Listen, I have to say this. Globers are really usually very douchey. They like to, you know, talk down on you, call you all kinds of names. Kind of reminds me of lefties, but anyways.
Okay, let's carry into the next question.
Why don't you just believe reality then? Why don't you just?
I do.
You know.
That's what I do. I believe actual reality. Yes, I do. A plain reality. The one that makes most sense.
Let's ask the next question, because like I say, our audience is trying to engage with the subject here. But yeah, there'll probably be some after shows. You know, if you guys want to do some meta discussion. Max, if you're doing anything, feel free to tag that in the chat. So TVH says curvature non-existent, drop over distance non-existent, water curve or band non-existent. So there's 3 declarations here. So you want to jump on them?
I've been using tools auto levels and things like that my whole life, laying out flat slabs and curves and all that. And if something's dropping in the distance, we use an equation called rise over run. It's called slope. It's not earth curve, it's slope. And we know water is going to go that way. We don't subtract 8 inches per mile. If I'm doing 10 miles of curve, I don't subtract 66 feet and say, well, the water's only going to slope this much. So amen to that super chat.
8 inches per mile is what the flat Earth made up.
No,
Doesn't
it ain't.
work.
That's geometry, bud. It does too work. Are you kidding me?
Also, what about railways? Railways. How does that work? Railways.
Perspective.
All right. So
no, but what I mean, okay, anyways.
Let's let Rick in here if you have any thoughts to give to TVH. They said curvature non-existent, drop over distant non-existent, water curve or bend non-existent.
Oh, I guess he missed the images I put up showing all that. And I wanted to talk to Brian about the compression. Yes, it's compression. That's why it's not a little tiny Earth. The photo is compressed. That's why the cars look like they're going straight up. The photo is compressed. But the point is, it's showing the curvature. That's all.
Optical illusion, but you look at it from any other angle, you don't see that. Any other angle.
P. Williams in the chat asked, Danny, do you know where you live? Yeah, I do. On the globe.
All right. Engaging with the live chat directly. And yes, you're welcome, Max. I appreciate you hanging out in the live chat and being so consistent and keeping things friendly. And honestly, it looks like our audience has been pretty tame. So hopefully your job hasn't been too
They've been
hard.
brutal.
They've been brutal? Oh, no. I've been reading
I'm reading it, and
you guys are reading the chat the whole time we're doing this? Good Lord.
No. I've only started reading it during the question time when you have loads of questions thrown your way and I'm waiting for a question.
No worries. All right, Jan Randa has another question. So this will be the last one unless we get any other ones that sneak in the end of this one. So it says, if water does not curve, so the tides don't exist. So sorry, it's just worded a little strange. If water does not curve, the tides don't exist.
Can I take that?
On flat Earth.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, sure. We'll start with that one. Go ahead.
Okay. The tides in general are a globe destroyer. There are spots on the coast of South America, 3,000 miles wide, with no tides at all. They're called nodes. They're all over in random spots on our flat Earth. And it can't be explained. I will admit that the timing of it coincides with the moon. You know, it falls back about 4 minutes a day, but that's the only thing. So that's you know, that ain't proof of anything. That if anything, that proves it's not the moon causing it. It's not gravity. You couldn't have a coastline with no channels or nothing, having no tide whatsoever, and say that it's the sun or the moon's gravity. That doesn't work.
And Brian, what about those still lakes that you see? You know,
Yeah. Like
what's going on there? How can it be so still? It looks like a mirror. Nothing is moving.
Perfect.
How can tides? How do tides work on your model then? Because we do have the moon's gravitational pull that affects our tides. So when one side of the Earth is on high tides, you've got the other side of the Earth which is on low tides.
So what about the 3,000 miles of South America and the northeast section, the whole entire section of South America, where there's a biggest node on Earth and there's no tide at all? What, is gravity just taking a break every time it goes around there? You know.
Yeah, I think it does.
Lazy gravity.
Yeah.
But that's a good question. I really don't know. It's probably some type of electromagnetic.
Do you reckon Do you reckon the big giant's got their finger and started swirling around parts of the Earth? It's the only way to explain it.
Think about it. You believe in the Big Bang.
Stealthy giants.
Big Bang, man.
Sorry. All right, so we got another question here. Well, from Jane Randa. So it does carry on to say, on flat Earth, the tides are little hills of water, right? I think we just established it was the giants, the sneaky giants that were doing it. No,
we could give explanations, man. We could give the explanations, but rather than just some BS explanation where you have a 3,000-mile coastline with no tide, I'd rather plead the fifth out, or claim ignorance. I don't know. I don't know what's causing the tide. I know for sure it ain't the moon's gravity. That's what I know for sure. That's all we know for sure, right?
You really don't like gravity, do you?
They ask, how can... Sorry, I wanted to carry on with Jane Randa's last comment here. They actually just put in another super chat, so we'll carry into that in just 1 second. They said, how can flat Earth predict tides?
With a tide chart, almanac. These things have been predicted without gravity for going back way before freaking Einstein, any of that stuff. These almanacs go way back. They go back centuries, few centuries. The tide, it's cyclic. Nothing more, nothing less.
All right. Any comments, Rick or Danny, on what you just heard there from Brian?
Nothing.
Did they say something about the shape of the Earth?
Sorry, what was that?
What did they mention anything about the shape of the Earth? I didn't hear it.
It's a big topic, though, Rick. Man, it is a big topic. But yeah, it ain't. That doesn't fall right into the shape.
Oh, okay. Then no, I don't have anything to say.
I'm just gonna kill the timer there, guys. We got the end of the 30 minutes for Q&A, but we do have 2 last questions that just came in here. So Jane Randa has another comment to make here. Question for you, Brian, saying, so tides exist, so water does curve, right, Brian?
It's the correlation. It's the correlation causation thing. Like we see, like I just said with the moon, okay, it goes around, the time is linked up, but we know it can't be the pull of the moon's gravity, or we couldn't have a 3,000-mile spot with no tides. That's not possible. So like I said, it's just correlation. So whatever's causing these things are obviously, similar. It's obviously related, but it's not one causing the other. That's called a model. Once again, I'll applaud y'all's model. But it fails epically on certain things, and tides is one of them. I don't know why a Glober would bring that up. It's an embarrassment.
Can I just quickly ask, how come the sun's gravity is not stealing the moon from the Earth?
Did you say?
How come the sun's gravity is not stealing the moon from the Earth?
No idea. It just doesn't, I guess.
It's a good little boy. It doesn't steal.
Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that. That's probably what it is.
So the sun
just doesn't want to steal the moon from the Earth. Yeah.
The sun is not living that thug life, I guess. Yeah. No sunglasses on the moon in the corner of your page.
So how come your sun and moon haven't crashed into each other yet?
Why should they?
Because no gravity.
Who said they're even physical objects, man?
Because
we don't believe they. Yeah, we don't believe it's physical.
On your model, they are literally
Yeah,
You know,
but we don't
in the same line.
We don't necessarily believe they're physical. They're lights.
They are not lights. They're not lights. We can see craters on the moon, like like the shadows in the craters in the moon. How is that?
Hey,
No,
how
it
can
doesn't
you
work if
see?
they're lights.
How can you
That
see
can't
through
work
the
if they're
moon,
lights.
Danny? How can you see through the fucking moon if it's a sand planet? How can you see through it? You can at some
What are you
point.
talking about?
You can see. I've seen through the moon and seen the stars through the moon.
Right, okay. Are you talking about when the moon is out at the same time as the sun?
I don't know when it is, but I've seen that it can be transparent at some part.
It's just a reflection of the
Yeah,
atmosphere.
a reflection. Yeah. Okay.
Look at the star. Like what is it? Israel or a couple other countries have a crescent moon with a star like right in the
Yeah.
moon.
I'll tell you what. Let's talk about that. Then. Let's talk
Exactly.
about that. And so, if you have a moon above us spinning around, like with magic, right? How are we getting moon phases?
Just because we haven't named our magic, man, doesn't mean that we know what's going on.
So are you telling me that parts of the moon's lights just turn off just randomly?
I think the eclipse is very weird.
Bulbs are gone. Well, they need to get the mechanic up there and get some bulbs done up there. Like the bulbs are gone.
Yeah, I thought the eclipse was very weird because if that's supposed to be the shadow of the Earth causing, it looks so weird because at first it's solid black. The shadow is solid black, and once it's almost covering the whole moon, it turns bright again. What kind of a shadow does that? Like
it turns orange.
Yeah, it's fucking weird, man. That ain't no fucking shadow. That ain't no shadow. That's something else. That's the moon turning off and recharging. Yeah.
What the hell?
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Wait, this is what I'm saying.
We have pictures of the moon where there's shadows in the craters. It's
go,
a
Brian.
sphere.
Brian, go.
It's proven to be a.
Go at Danny. Go, Brian.
It could be a ball up there, okay, but that didn't mean it is for sure. But here, I always put this in my presentation. I personally filmed the Selenelium where the sun was up a few degrees. So the sun is up above the horizon, came up above the horizon, then started poking its head above the clouds. The moon was about 6 degrees above the other horizon with a shadow. How can the sun and the moon be in the sky and it be the Earth's shadow if I'm supposedly on top of a ball? They'll hand wave dismiss it though. I don't know what he's talking about. Globe, tis globe. How can the sun and the moon be in the sky at the same time and the Earth's shadow be blocking the moon?
Let's let Danny respond.
Are you talking about the lunar eclipse?
Yeah, Selenelium.
Selenelium eclipse. All right, okay. So you're talking about the moon and the sun being in the sky at the same time.
Yeah, NASA calls it the impossible eclipse because the geometry don't work.
Yeah, I've heard this.
I filmed it.
Well, the thing is, it's been observed, isn't it? So it does happen.
Funny name, impossible.
And what, the moon's all of a sudden gone blue from the atmosphere, and then also all the lights have turned off again.
I don't know. It's just weird. Our response.
Amazing. You can't explain moon phases. You can't explain. You cannot explain moon phases because you have to have half the light bulbs is all cut off out of outside.
So you just think of what's impossible, and instead of accepting what I just said, I filmed and asking for evidence or checking out my channel and seeing I literally filmed this in real world. You just think of something that's impossible that you think is impossible on a flat Earth, and just your brain just automatically goes there. You won't accept everything we're telling you. You're just blowing it off like, it's globe, no, whatever.
Daddy government told me.
Yeah. All right.
Government.
Let's carry into the next question. We got 2 more that are sitting in our live chat right now. So let's try to wrap them up there, guys. I Killed Earl asks, good to see you back in the live chat. I Killed Earl. Why will you accept one photo but not another? Your belief in reality, in quotes, is arbitrary. The right has proven they are the party of fifis over facts.
The right?
I think she might be making some commentary on your background, maybe.
Are you a bloody lefty? You're retarded if you are. Sorry, that's
like
how
that picture of the moon. When you speak of pictures, like we analyze these things because the devil's always in the detail. That like the picture of the Earth rise. NASA is literally admitted that that was for enhancement. Okay, we put it in photo forensics, and there's a little box around it. I didn't have time to pull it up. I'd have to find it, but it's been shown enough where NASA kind of withdrew it and just said it's for enhancement reasons. There's literally a box that shows up around the Earth in Photoshop if you analyze these photos. So yeah, no, we don't accept just any photos.
Ryan,
we scrutinize.
Ryan, can I just respond to that also?
Yes, sir.
The lefties, they believe in fantasy stuff. I don't want to say, but they believe in a lot of Coco stuff. To claim that we on the right are the ones believing in fantasy and stuff like that is ridiculous.
Fifis, I think, meaning
what is
feels.
fifis? What is
like it's all about feelings, is what?
Yeah, but that's the lefties.
Yeah. But let's engage with the actual question for the debate. I think iKilder might have been trying to bait you with that one. Why will you accept one photo but not another?
Who said which photo?
All of them, man.
All right. Let's carry into the last one here then. I think we got as much out of that one as we can for now. JSS Tiger asked the last question. The moon and Earth are pulled much the same way by the sun. It's just the moon is also under heavy influence from the Earth.
So the Earth still wins magically. It still wins against the sun's gravity. Okay.
They're just the same size too. We look up; they're just coincidentally the same size. One's 400 times further away, and it just happens to be 400 times bigger.
Yeah,
and they're coincidence theorists, Vince.
Yeah, and a Big Bang explosion just put it all in place. An explosion.
Yeah.
All right. Any thoughts on the other side there?
And we are the tards, right? We are the tards.
Well, just before we get to our closing statements, did you have any response there, Rick or Danny, to what you just heard?
No.
There's so much dirt below.
Okay. Oh my. Well, at least you guys you're taking it all in good stride, There's there's a little bit of picking here and there. We don't mind. So
yeah, but that's fun.
That's
it's been fun. It has been fun.
It has been, man.
I don't have a problem with these two. I would love to come back on again with these two. Like they were right enough, and in debates it does get heated, but then we're all friends after. It's how it is.
That's how it should be.
We just want to drink beer.
Absolutely, man.
And
that's
it's
how
a
it should
passionate
be.
topic, man. It's a very passionate topic, but it's been a riot, man. I will admit.
Yeah.
I would like to be Vince's partner in a left-right.
Well, I'll ask my wife. Okay.
The boss?
No, she's not the boss.
He's making innuendo, and he told me to stop.
All right.
Probably.
What did you find? All right, so let's actually, yeah. Before we read that, let's just go over that poll there. So, who did you find the most compelling on the panel? So, we did see a little bit of movement here. You got an extra point, and then Vince, and then 2 more points for Brian. So we got Danny is winning at 39%, 22% are for Rick, 20% for Brian, and then 19% for Vince. So
I'm the winner if you turn it upside down.
What? If
you turn it upside down, I'm the winner, right?
You won, man. You won.
Vince, that's only because you were on the right side of the political party. You didn't get
I
anything.
love Trump.
I love Trump.
All right.
I love Trump.
Before we get into another discussion, which definitely it does sound like that might be interesting to explore down the road. Let's get into those closing statements and let our speakers out of here. And let's do it the way, I usually do it in the reverse way, the UK way. So we're going to start with Danny on the floor. You have 1 minute. Just give your thoughts on our discussion, where everybody can find you, and and I'll also remind our audience, if we have your tags, all of our speakers will be linked in our description. So if you do like what you're hearing on screen, check them out in their own spaces. And I see Max has tagged that link there, so you can also maybe find them hanging out over there as well. So Danny, you got 1 minute on the floor.
Thank you. It's been fun. I mean, got a bit heated. Arguments thrown here and there and everywhere. This was my first debate, and I am I feel very privileged to be on Monday Debate because I do follow him. I am a channel member, and I reached out to James, and I wanted to gain some experience on the flat Earth globe topic. So, in the conclusion, I mean, okay, look, I was expecting something better. I wanted to, I did want to talk about Antarctica, but it doesn't matter. They could have given some more evidence of the flat Earth, like a model or something, but they didn't do that, which is a shame because they won't, because they don't have a model apparently. They can't make their minds up whether.
5 seconds.
But then they'll always show the pancake world when they're doing presentations, but claim they have no model. But one more thing.
No
it's been great. I've had a great time with these boys, and I would do it again.
A1. Thank you so much for being here, Danny. We appreciate you being at Modern Day Debate, and definitely we'll look out for you and hopefully have you back for some other topics as well. Like I said, just let us know what you're interested in, and we'll try to get you lined up, whatever gets you go. Rick, I'm going to hand you over the floor. You got 1 minute to give your closing thoughts.
Man, to recount on who was the most persuasive, and also the loaf of bread. But as I said in my opening statement, they would present no evidence against anything I presented. I showed a impossible journey around Antarctica that they could not explain left or right on. I showed actual photos of Earth, nothing digital, and I showed water curving. That's basically the end of this. They did not show a single image or anything that showed the Earth flat. They talked about the solar system, star trails, atmosphere, helicopters, but this wasn't even a flat Earth globe Earth debate. The only thing this was
10 seconds.
I'm not even sure what it was. Oh, but I won.
Yeah, you did. Or was it Danny who won the popular test?
All right.
I won by amount of time I spoke. He won because he spoke most.
Got it.
I do apologize for that.
My speaking ratio. No, this was great. Like I said, it's good to have people that are chomping at the bit, and then people that are making their moment. Because if everybody's just there, going for it, then it just turns into muted rounds, and that's not nearly as fun for the audience. So thank you so much to our globe side, Rick and Danny. We appreciate you guys. Let's hand it back over there to the other side. So Vince, I'm going to give you a minute on the floor to let everybody know what you think of the discussion and where everybody can find you.
Yeah, it was a blast, and I commend Danny and also Rick if this is his first time as well. I like when people step from the chat and onto the voice, because I think more and more people should do that in general, regardless, globe, flat, whatever. Express your mind. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, where you can find me is I have a YouTube channel, but over there I don't do any serious stuff. I do pitch correction, music stuff. But my serious stuff is on Rumble. That's where it's called Vince Fedin Discuss on Rumble. There you can find me there, and we have open panels when we invite everybody, lefties, righties, globies, whatever. We just do what you guys do, but way, way rawer, or more raw, as you say. I just want to say this quickly. Where is Godless Girl? Is she still around? Do you know Godless Girl?
I'm not sure what's. We could definitely follow up and see what's going on.
Yeah, that would be the blast.
Yeah.
I would want to do a rematch with her and T-Jump and everybody.
Oh, there you go.
Anyways, blast.
If they're watching, yeah. Well, if they're watching, then they'll hear that. You're having.
Especially T-Jump. I'm gonna get back at T-Jump. But hey, blast, Brian. Fantastic stuff. He brought all of the factual stuff. I brought a bunch of weird stuff. And it was a nice little team up here.
No worries. Let's give it over to Brian. Thank you so much for your closing statement there, Vince. Brian, you got 1 minute on the floor. My goodness, I can't speak today.
Yeah, thank you, Vince, man. That was a good teammate, man. You brought a lot of the deeper points, man. Thank you for hosting. It's always a pleasure. Appreciate that. Appreciate the Globers for coming out and defending this ridiculous model. But as far as the debate went, one other thing, you can find me on Flat Earth Test on Rumble, TikTok, YouTube, Flat Earth, capital E, capital T. And as far as the debate went, the first thing I showed was 145-mile observation at 3.5 feet. They say we didn't bring evidence. They say this every time at TIS Globe. No matter what we show, they just freaking project on us. Like the tides, the box around the Earth, the Pontchartrain show. Everything they've shown is flat Earth proof, and they just project like, oh, they didn't bring nothing. But that's what we expect. If you're Globe, it's kind of like hypnotized or something. I don't know. But I still had a good time. Like I said, I pretend to be a Glober just to drink a beer with Rick, man.
And
Ryan,
Danny, man, come on, don't leave Danny out.
Yeah. Oh, I'd drink. Yeah, but I wouldn't pretend to be a Glober with Danny. We'd chill, man. And thanks again, though, Vince, man. That was
no, thank you.
Good time, man. Thanks, Ryan.
Yes, no problem. But the reason we don't do that is because I drink you all under the table, right? No, I'm just picking. I'm just picking. No, I'll get in trouble.
You probably would.
I'm a gigging musician, right? I come by it honestly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
There you go.
We have something in common, Ryan.
You heard Ryan's music, dude?
Oh, yeah.
No, I haven't.
Oh.
Okay, go back and listen to the intros, man. That's him singing, dude.
Oh yeah, that was a one take though. He's gonna hear that one flat note, and it's gonna drive him crazy. He'll be like, oh.
Yeah, he just
it was one take. It was one take. Yeah, it was live. Right. It's live like modern day debate, you know. So
is it in the intro? Hold on, Ryan. Is it in the intro?
It's gonna be. I'll put it at the outro. I usually do if I'm hosting. Yeah. I mean, it was a really close friend that moved away when I started doing this, so I was like, I'll just put our music on there, and it's just. It's nice to be able to tell him.
Are you playing any instruments in that jam?
Oh yeah, I do. Right? I do the solos, but yeah. Before we get into just talking about I do all the singing, yeah, and I do all the guitar solos.
Cool.
But yeah, before we get into all that talk, because everybody's like, "We get Ryan, you're a musician," blah blah blah. Yeah. Don't worry about it. The haters, they're just talentless.
I didn't know.
Those people are talentless, right? They just need a hanky to dry their talentless tears, is what I say.
Wussies.
Anyway, that's rude. All right, so let's close the show before everybody's like, "Man, his head went from here to there." Thank you to all of our speakers. Thank you, our live chat, for coming out and making this interesting, making it fun. We are actually going to be back Friday, so I did get a hold of Matthew and I did get a hold of Craig. We're going to have a debate on, is the final experiment a hoax? So keep an eye out for that thumbnail. We're going to have that debate between Matthew and Fight the Flat Earth, and then after I think it's December 19th that they're going to be doing this or whatever. So when they get back, we hope to have Craig Fight the Flat Earth and Matthew Hagen back on to debate the same topic. Was the final experiment a hoax? So that's after the fact. So keep an eye out for those notifications. What's going on there, Vince?
Ryan, can I just ask one thing? I see my screen on the stream. Mm-hmm. Why the hell am I so blurry? Because I got like 4K resolution on Zoom.
No, you're clear to me, man. You're clear to me.
No, but on the stream. It looks like I got 4
CGI.
Yeah, I got like 480p or some shit going on over there, like blurry as hell.
Right.
I don't know what.
You got bad resolution on the YouTube. You know?
Yeah, well, it shouldn't be too bad. I mean, I'm looking over at what I'm uploading. I mean, if anybody finds it blurry, maybe I'll mess with my settings and see if I can do 4K uploads. My internet's pretty fast. I probably could.
No, it looks like it's only me mainly that is blurriest. But anyways, I just. Curious.
I'm sorry if it didn't come across the way you wanted to, but I will say one person did just say, Ryan Beecham says, when it was raining brains, Brian put up an umbrella. Thank you for the
can I just say something?
My goodness, everybody wants to say something. This is interesting. This doesn't usually happen.
I'm just seeing in the chat, right? This P. Williams. He's been fun. He's been fun, yeah, like taking the mick out of me, blah blah blah, and all this. And then he's just said, "Danny, you did well for your first time." P. Williams, thank you.
All right. Well,
and also there was a
we're so into
the drunk debunk show. They said that they love me and Rick, so I love you too.
Yeah, just passing around the love. Honestly, that's great. Yeah, let's let our speakers go, all of you. But yeah, this has been a lot of fun. Like I said, there's not usually too much after chat, so it's cool that everybody's just chilling and having a good time. But we're gonna let our audience go, and once again, keep an eye out for that Friday notification. We'll get that link up soon. And yeah, thanks for coming out to Modern Day Debate. We'll see you next time.
Tyranny's mixed with self-oppression. What am I to do but tear away when I'm boiling at the top? Try to find a way to fight the fires, mount a rap from the minds of liars. You call the shots as you bow your heads, and the march never stops. The stars could be free, but this insanity bends you right by the knee. Running in circles now for something that can't be found. Out of breath as you hit the wall, the rain starts to fall. You can run away, sing a tune that's true. I'll be beside you. Who's the one that holds you down? Push through there in your way, anything to make you stay. Cut the strings before your life starts to decay. From tears of blood, regrets of laughter, turn around as your heart beat faster. Your hollow shape as the faith begins to drop. Shelter can find your thoughts of suicide. It's hanging down by the fray. Running in circles now for something that can't be found, and there's no time for today. You prayed away that the world would be untrue. I will rise against you. Until they're gone, nothing can matter at all. Insanity bends you right by the nail. Running in circles now for something that can't be found. Out of breath, smashed the wall, the water consumed all. You prayed away that the world would be untrue as it rose against you. Unveiled. Did you think it would always be for free? Now sit back, watch it burn me.